Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting. Welcome into the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Split 2 here tonight, Season 26, Round 7, as we come out to midway down Florida into the wondrous Sebring International Raceway, home currently of the Sebring 12-hour, previously home of the 1,200 kilometres of Sebring here tonight. It's crunch time for this season as we return for the longest night in Vets with 300 Ks on offer for you and 50 laps around the bumpy former Air Force Base down here in Sebring. It's going to be a massive amount of pressure here tonight for these drivers to maximise everything that they've had to work on and build this season, and with 300 Ks added tonight at a circuit which will eat tyres for breakfast, and one with no elevation changes at all. It's going to be a massive test across the piece. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Brett Fisher once again as always. Brett, we come into tonight obviously with 3 rounds to go after this evening. Round 7, so 4 rounds to go. The championship is super tight. We come to a circuit.
Light?
It's a light. It's
a light.
It's a light. It is a light. And we come into tonight's race where this championship is on, and it's on between multiple drivers, and putting their championship winning seasons together, well, they need to be able to maximise now across tonight. Next week it's Suzuka, the week after at Miami, and then in the final round as well at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the finale round as well of the season. Sebring, those going to offer up a bunch of challenges. Obviously, it's the longest night of the season, 300 kilometres, 50 laps, 3-stop race strategy is on offer tonight if there's an early safety car, of course. 2 stops, so still going to be the more beneficial choice. Safety cars, well, they're probably at around about a 40% chance this evening here at Sebring. It's nice and wide and open. It really just depends where cars are parked up, and if they need a tow, then that may decide if there's a safety car or not. Brett, ultimately, tonight is going to be survive the first sort of 15 laps of the race, get through the midway point, and then survive the last 15 laps and push on for a position. That's ultimately going to be the goal tonight, as it would have been the goal this weekend for those who took part in the iRacing official Daytona 500. It is survive the early onslaught, get through the midpoint, put yourself in a strong position to the end, and then fight for a race win. Ultimately, that's going to have to be the goal tonight for these drivers.
100%. You got to, as they say, who was saying that you've got to buy your ticket to the end of the race. I mean, if you've got all that done and you get down to that last part, you can have a crack at, maybe something and get something exciting going. But we're in for a real treat tonight. We're on, as you said, the old airport bits and pieces, the concrete bouncy, the twisties, and the fasties and slowies.
Well, of course, it's a track with zero elevation change at all. But it is a track as well with multiple different surfaces on it. Of course, it has the tarmac concrete composite, and the flat concrete as well. And again, that's one of the reasons why this track will chew up tyres tonight. As I said, round 7 this evening, 50 laps, 300 Ks. We are well into the second part of this season as well. And looking at the championship standings, Reese De Goey is leading the way at this stage on 853 points. Shane Randall P2 on 848. Simon Hedesheed, Joel Oosterwald, Alex Kiddis make up our top 5 in the championship as well. A dip in form for Phil Manuel previously, but he still has an opportunity to get his way forward. Especially, Brett, where after tonight, 2 drop rounds are going to be counted going forward. 2 drop rounds are going to be counted after tonight. So that will reshuffle the championship a little bit in terms of where drivers are going to be. I think we know that De Goey and Randall and Hedesheed, Kiddis and Manuel, they're all going to be amongst the top 5. It's whether Oosterwald will be as well. It's whether Friend, Burns, yourself, Brett, or even Gary Buckland or Kokoshi are going to be there as well.
Well, I was just going to mention, Hamish, that you have a look at those points. I mean, some of them are mighty, mighty close. Only separated by a point here and there for a lot of drivers. Some even equal, like Phil Manuel and Craig Friend, on the same points. So the championship is pretty tight. And even further down, you go down to Michael Jones, Rick Vigor, or Vigar. There's a lot of very, very similar points. So everything's going to be so critical in the latter stages of this championship. And like we said before, it's building up, and it is going to be a pressure cooker towards the end. Who's going to be able to sustain the pressure and be able to push through and continue to move forward as we get to the latter stages of this series.
Well, that's exactly right. How willing are you to push yourself to a championship-winning position? These are the championship-making rounds. Last week at Silverstone, tonight at Sebring, next week at Suzuka. They are your championship-building rounds. That is where oftentimes drivers will drop performance, drop momentum as well. Even looking back to Mosport as well, that's another round where drivers will often drop performance and momentum, and it kills seasons. And ultimately, the drivers who carry performance and momentum through those rounds are often the ones that come out the other side as the championship contenders in the final round, and often at times will come out the other side as the champion as well. So it's important for these drivers to maximise, not only tonight, but over the next 2 rounds prior to that final round, and try and survive themselves going forward as well. Let's have a quick look at our racing circuit here this evening.
Make sure it's quick.
I'll make sure it's very, very quick.
Make sure it's quick.
Sebring International Circuit as we float our way on into the midway point of Florida. We're just south of Daytona, where, of course, the Daytona 500 is being hosted this weekend in the real world for the NASCAR Championship as well, beginning the 2025-2026 season after the clash last Thursday night. Dropping our way on in, you can just see how incredibly flat this place is. It's almost like a flat Road America in a sense. It all starts on the main straight, and we run it up towards turn 1, where there's a difficult pit exit. You're coming out of pits off track, and you're having to rejoin and filter onto the circuit as well. But I think the bigger difficulty is running through 1. You don't want to run it too wide and into the grass before turn 2. Otherwise, you can lose the rears, end up in the barrier, and have a massive moment coming down the hill towards turn 3. So drivers are going to have to be cautious of that early in this race. Dipping your car then through 3, 4, and 5. Again, not trying to get overlap with each other. It's very similar to the first sector of VIR as well. They're through corners, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of VIR. Very similar here at Sebring. Then we come around the big bend at turn 6 and down to one of the best passing opportunities of the whole track. One of the most difficult as well, though. Turn 7 at the hairpin. We then run it up through the S's, up through Fangio at 8 and 9, and towards the braking zone at turn 10 before we run around Collier at 11 and into Tower at 12 and 13. And that first half of the lap, Brett, is its own style of circuit in itself. Again, very VIR-esque, very Road America-esque, just without the elevation changes, as I said. But surviving through there, you're then running down towards turn 14 at Bishop, and then through the dreaded turn 15 and the Lamore chicane. Oh, not the final Lamore corner, but importantly, the curb of death at that unnumbered corner just after turn 15. You do not want to hook up that curb, otherwise you will go straight in the wall if you are not careful. Running it around Lamore corner at turn 16, down the back straight at Sunset Boulevard towards Sunset Bend at turn 17. That'll end out the lap. Pit entry, fairly easy tonight, Brett. Nothing too much to write home about. The difficulty tonight is trying to make passes stick and make them stick at the right time and not get overextended on yourself, because often that is where the big mistakes will come, and that's where we'll see those big incidents happening.
And the other one too is coming into Sunset Bend. It's always been a tricky one. The multiple different lines people take there, and also the exit has always been one to watch as well. Cars hitting that tyre barrier on the exit of Sunset Bend. It was always exciting to watch, and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, there's some fantastic stuff. Just a quick question. Between 14 and 15, as you said, that they've not named a bend. Isn't it funny how some tracks have named a corner a bend? That's a decent bend. It should have had its own.
Look at turn 2. It's barely a corner, but it's listed as turn 2. And then the midway point of between 15 and 16, there's a no numbered corner in there.
Yeah,
and it should be numbered.
Anyway.
That's where the curb of death is. That's
exactly.
where drivers have to be careful.
We'll just name it 14A.
The American mindset of not naming corners is quite interesting, and how they name corners is quite interesting as well. But
maybe that could be like because that's near where the parking bays are for the planes, wasn't it? Somewhere about there. So maybe just call it.
Well, of course, Sunset Boulevard is where one of the landing strips is.
Yeah.
For the circuit. So it's obviously it's parked right on a very, very flat piece of land, no elevation changes to speak of tonight, and the big difficulty is going to come from drivers having to not overextend themselves and not get caught out in any incidents as well. Qualifying has just begun, and multiple drivers have already headed out there to try and maximise on their qualifying efforts here tonight.
Who's going to be at the top of the tower?
Well, the big names we have to watch tonight, I think, is this guy right here, Phil Manuel. One of the guys we have to keep an eye on, because he's been in a real dip of form lately, and he's got to try and get out of this rut if he can to maintain a top 5 position in the championship. The guy at the opposite end of the spectrum, though, Race to Goey. He has been on fire the last few weeks, leads the championship as well. He's probably been one of the 2 best drivers this season, or one of the 3 best drivers this season, alongside probably Alex Kiddis. And then in the early portion of the season, we could look to the likes of between Phil Manuel, Shane Randall, or Joel Oosterwald as that 3rd driver. Right now, though, the game's being won by Kiddis and DeGoey for mid-season performance, and mid-season momentum has gone the way of both of those guys. Whichever one comes out on top will be dictated, I think, by possibly how they run tonight or how they run over the next few weeks.
I'd like to see where Jones ends up after the qualifying tonight. After his run last week, wasn't he sensational? And then, unfortunately, we never found out. Hopefully we can find out at some point what happened to his pit strat that took him out of that game. So it'll be interesting to see where old Jonesy comes on the ladder tonight, and see if we can pull off something miraculous.
Well, miracles can come towards us if we're able to put everything together as well. And for Michael Jones, he begins his qualifying run, and whether he can put together himself a perfect qualifying lap tonight, that is still yet to be dictated out here. Bit wide at turn 1. Doesn't affect him too much, though. I think majorly,
the car was just a bit skaty in the back by the look of it. Yeah.
I think the major factor is, Brett, you've got to get the first 5 corners right. If you can get them right, you can set yourself up for the next sector. Next important corner to get right is turn 7, and then probably turn 10 is the next important one to get right after that as well. And I think if you can build upon your lap as you go along, getting these little micro sectors correct as you go along as well, that's going to help build the confidence across the lap. And will actually keep your rhythm and your momentum going across the lap too. So very important now for Michael. He maximises across the next half of this lap.
Definitely. Interesting to see how that car, the attitude on the car coming out underneath the bridge there, as he hit the braking markers, geez, the car danced right on its nose. And then, and just one of those things to, you try and get the car as straight as possible, get on the gas again. And these corners, it's really sort of difficult to get the throttle down and keep the car balanced and all sorts of stuff. Not too much steering input, don't overdrive it. And with the warm track tonight, the tyres felt a little bit squirmish. I don't know how other people felt, but I felt like that they were just feeling a little bit squirmish under the car.
Well, what I can see from how Michael's car's reacting right now, it doesn't look too bad. He's kept it nice and tidy across this lap. Important factor is as well, the early portion of the race, the track is significantly hotter than what it would normally be. In fact, it's 10 degrees hotter than what it would normally be, 34 degrees. This is to make up for the fact that this is a twilight race tonight. By the time the race ends, the sun will be setting and the track will be a lot cooler by that stage, back down to the normal temps. As Brett Fisher puts the first time to the top of the list, Alex Skidderstow picture there for after about 5 seconds. Brett with a 205.69. Kokoschki to the top now. 205.42 goes to the top. What can Michael Jones offer us? This is a 205.35. And as I said, that lap looked spectacular. He was right on the edge of grip, but he kept that thing planted underneath him for a solid performance across that lap. Some drivers still trying to finish out the laps at this stage. Hallel Cesar as well. Tough season for him. 2 pit lane starts thus far this season. So again, this is a real rebuilding season for him, looking ahead to season 27, where he can maybe win his second Split 2 championship for Infinity Motorsport. If he can do it, he's up to P5. That's a great first lap for Cesar. Sean Cullen's doing it to get his first time in. And apparently Blinky Bill is no more, Brett. All of a sudden, we have Stable Sally in Damon Fisher.
Yeah. He's had a bit of, what do you call it, all brand, and he's now on fibre.
Very good. Love to see that, Damon. Very, very good.
Yeah, it'll be good to see how it goes tonight. I must say too that that lap that I did there was probably the fastest lap I'd done. That was my PB, so I was quite happy with that.
Pull that out at the always in qualifying, Brett. You'll do heaps of practice during the week. All of a sudden, it gets to qualifying, and you've pulled out your fastest lap of the whole week.
Not normally though. I just struggle in qualifying, and actually my second lap was going to be faster until I got a little bit of a slide. I reckon I might have cracked into the 5s, which I would have been pumped about.
Have you considered not sliding, Brett?
I'd prefer not to, but it's just, there's a lot of things to organise, when you're driving around.
Very true.
Is Damon on an out lap? Or?
Well, he's just ran it wide at the final corner, so I think he's on a push lap now, and that last lap was a bit of a throwaway for him. Got a heap of chats out there already with us. Sando045, so there's 2, Brett Horsell, Phil Manuel. Brett, you've been out there getting the punters fired up. Reese to go, he's with us too tonight. On, Mr. Ardio as well, giving the love to EWT Racing. I believe that might be Matt Stoyles. Damon Fisher's in the chat with us too, so as well as Gary Buckland. So great to have you all watching along with us here this evening. Get into the chat, as I said. Chat with us along throughout the race.
Ask us some questions. Get pumped up. Exactly. Come on, fire everyone up.
We've got 300 Ks to fill here, people. We're going to be here for a couple of hours. Give us something. I'm sure
Whether
at some point.
I'm
sure at some point the field's going to spread. It's a 300K race, so I'm sure we're going to need some filler at some stage. And if you are new here on the Vets channel, or if you're watching over in Infinity Broadcasting, or vice versa,
give us a like too.
Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Give us click the bell icon as well. Be sure to do it on both channels. That way you're notified whenever we go racing on the Vets channel with the Vets stuff of Split 2, Split 3, Split 4. Over on Infinity Broadcasting, you'll be able to catch more of myself and the wonderful co-commentators I get to work with, including Brett Fisher for Vets. We simulcast across both channels, of course, for Veterans every Saturday night. Mondays are our other day we go broadcasting, 11:50 a.m. We have Highside Motorsports NASCAR action, some American action for you. And then as well, later that evening, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, we have the VRS Porsche Cup coming your way with our own Britton O'Brien in the booth with me as well for the rest of this season. So you'll be able to check out all the action with us across the end of the season for multiple leagues all around the world, Brett. It's an international audience now. It's an international operation.
Absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what, the timing tower's gone fairly quiet at the moment. You see Damon, he's going to... no, geez, that was a bit awkward there too. He might be on a run under this time. Michael Jones out in front still at the moment with a 205, 353. Craig Friend's just gone off track there, so he's won what he was in. He's not going to count. Kokoschki in second spot at the moment with 205.420. Gary Buckland in third spot at the moment with a 205.693, and Alex Kiddis in fourth with a 205.695. Craig Friend in fifth at the moment with a 205.924. I won't read all of them because that'd be boring.
Be
but
here
that's
for
our
a
top
while.
5 at the moment.
Yes,
yeah,
it
we
is.
would be. Yeah. But I mean, that's the top 5 at the moment. Hasn't moved around at all
No,
much. You
it
see a
hasn't.
few people in pit lane.
And I think that's one of the difficulties of Sebring is actually finding more microsectors and finding your gains is very hard when you
Ben
get
Brook
out to
going
the
up.
top end.
Oh,
That's a great qualifying
top
lap from
5.
Ben Brook. Top effort
Here
from
we go,
Brook.
Kiddis.
As Kiddis goes to the top, 205.16. Manuel goes to P4, but Jones pits him in the end.
Jones!
Randall got to a top 10. Jones with a 205.12. He saw Kiddis' time. Kiddis would have been
Wow.
wrapped with it. And then all of a sudden, Jones has come along and said,
Boom.
haha,
Nah,
you thought
not
you
today.
had pole. No, you do not. Chris Blanchard pulls his car up. So does Paul Burns as well. But it's great to have everyone out there for qualifying at this stage. Sean Cullen's still yet to set a time here in qualifying as everyone's pulling up. And it has come to an end. And it will be Michael Jones who has taken out pole position as Phil Manuel is just a little bit too far away. At this stage, Reese to go. He say he'll take ages to read my name. I thought I did say your name, Reese. I'm very sorry. Reese to go is with us 224. Reese to go 2462. Specifically is his username. So sorry, Reese. I am ill at the moment, so I do apologise if I miss someone in chat. I'm very, very sorry.
I'll just say hello, everybody.
Yeah, hello, everybody. Welcome in. But at this stage, we're going to get the warm-up session started. No, we're not. We're going to skip it because it's 5 minutes or more filler, Brett. We don't need to fill another 5 minutes at this stage. Let's get into the
No,
racing
we don't.
action.
No.
That is the beauty of the replay broadcast. And this is our starting grid for tonight. We're not round 5, Hamish. One thing I always forget is to change the round number, and that is my fault. There we go, round 7. Michael Jones starts pole position ahead of Alex Kiddis on the front row of the grid. Stephen Kokoschki and Phil Manuel then for the top 4 ahead of Gary Buckland and Ben Brook for our top 6. Chris Blanchard, Paul Burns start ahead of Craig Friend and Halil Cesar for the top 10. Scott McKenzie, Shane Randall, they're making up our top 12. In behind them, the 7th row of the grid going to Scott McKeon and Bruce Tannick with Simon Heddersheed and Andrew Hoffman making up our top 16. Brett Fisher alongside Rick Viger starting ahead of Reese Degoe with Andrew Galley in P20 at this point in time. I need to change Reese's car number. I'll do that in a moment. Roy Clark, Matty Parker in the top 22 ahead of Matt Monday and Derek Lovegrove for our top 24 cars on the grid here this evening. Jeremy Bush, Matt Stores ahead of Mick Clifton and Ron Allen with Brett Horsell and Scott Weston making up our top 30 cars. Brett Taylor, Damon Fisher, the last of the qualifiers out there. Sean Cullen not getting a qualifying time in here this evening. He'll start from the back end of the field. Bretton O'Brien, our race controller, Chief Race Steward, here tonight alongside Todd Martin and our safety car driver, Lucas Burt, as well. So a massive thank you to those guys for giving up their time to come and race control this evening's race once again. And for Michael Jones, it is another pole position here this evening.
Yep.
Former Driver of the Day winner this season as well, and we look forward to seeing what Michael can produce here tonight amongst this crowd of cars and amongst this crowd of drivers as well. So we're very, very excited to see what he can do, and it's a great effort from him to get himself there as well.
Second week in a row, isn't it?
I believe it might be his second week in a row too.
Yeah,
We'll have to see
so
if he can maximise and if he can put it all together.
Going well.
Going very, very well is Michael Jones for Extreme Auto Protection as well. Everyone's just finalising their grid up times at this point. want to say as well,
It's got the GT4 headlights on there.
He does indeed. I want to say as well to everyone out there who may be watching from the great Mount Panorama circuit at Bathurst, if you're there for the Bathurst 12 hour this weekend, hope you're having a great weekend. I hope you're enjoying your time away. Watching the GT cars and sports cars go racing tomorrow for 12 hours. I'm sure it's going to be a grand old time. I'm going to enjoy watching it from the comfort of my home with John Hindorf and Richard Crail speaking in my ear for the whole day. That's going to be my time for me. But we look forward to this weekend. It's really our start of year for Australian motorsport is the Bathurst 12 hour. And it's always a fun time when we get to go racing at Mount Panorama, of course. So it starts the year after it ended at Adelaide with Chaz Mostert winning the Supercars Championship. He'll drive this weekend in the pole-sitting car alongside Tom Randall and Cam Waters. After that Triple 2 entry, took the pole position with Cam Waters at the helm this afternoon.
Any relation to Shane? Here we go.
Here we go.
Revs are up.
Revs are up. And the grid is set. We're ready to go. 50 laps, 300 kilometres.
And we're away.
And everyone is away here this evening. Little bit of balking in behind as everyone's trying to fight early through positions as Alex Kiddis looks to take the race lead from Michael Jones, but he can't quite get there at this stage. Big movers already through the first few corners. Bruce Tannick looks to be in a rocket ship at this point as he's already dumped the field as he's turned Craig Friend around. Craig Friend straight in the wall. That car's got massive damage off contact with Tannick. He's kept it going. Everyone has to avoid him at this point.
Off there,
yep.
Or just
I think they're just avoiding him. Yeah, avoiding action quite possibly, but that's big damage on Craig Friend's car. Michael Jones, though, leads the way. Kiddis, Kokoschki, Manuel, Buckland, the top five, with Blanchard, Brooke, Burns, Cesar, and now Bruce Tannick into the top 10 as he's trying to make early dives here. Randall, big dive on the inside as well. Gives a little bit of a kiss to the back end of his teammate as he battles in with McCune. And now he's gone round as well. And ultimately, where was Randall going to go in that moment? He was getting squeezed to the edge of the track, and unfortunately, it's these early first lap jitters that are just starting to come unglued.
It's on for young and old already. Look out. So Jones hasn't got much of a... Buddy, Kiddis is he's right on there. And I'll tell you what, who's looking really racy is Kokoschki right behind Kiddis. He's champing on his the Kiddises. And that's one to watch out there for too. Phil Manuel just dropping back just a fraction. But a lot of pressure coming from Steve at the moment.
Tell you what, Kokoschki's going to be one to watch here this evening. Across the portion of this race in the Synergy Sim Racing entry, of course. We know he's got pace.
Gary Buckland just in the background there, the silent assassin, as you like to call him.
He's very silent. I'll tell you what, though, silent assassin in qualifying tonight, Ben Brook. Now, I know that Ben has had some sports car racing experience before, probably has done many laps around here at Sebring. That he has out-qualified himself completely on his average this season. That is a great effort from Ben Brook. Qualified inside the top 10. If he stays up here, this will be an all-time finish for Ben Brook tonight. Just want to shout that out.
That's wide from Tannick.
It's very, very wide from Tannick.
Slide on the car. Now, Tannick's up 6 spots at the moment, so he's pushing forward pretty hard, and he's got a racy car there. Also, Reese DeGoey up 6 spots at the moment.
He started back here, Brett. Round about with yourself and Randall Lars. There's been a contact here. Randall trying to enter the corner. And you're still alongside him, and he's just lost the rear end. Really, really wild here.
Wild.
Randall's dropped a heap of spots. You've come out the other side unscathed there, Brett. At this point in time,
for that.
sometimes...
Frightened the crap out of me, too.
all of a sudden, there's a Mustang in front of you.
Yeah, there's a bloody car. What's going on here?
Craig Friend finally in his pit lane to get his car fixed up, and now he's going to have to drive for 480 or 490 odd kilometres without a fast repair on board that thing. If he ends up in the wall again tonight, Brett, that'll be night done for him.
That's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Anytime you got to, especially in 300, anytime you got to use your fast repair early, it's dangerous. But, you know, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Of course, Jones now starting to get into his rhythm here at this stage, and this is now going to be the important part. Survive this early onslaught, as we said, the first sort of 5 to 10 laps. Once you survive that first 5 to 10 laps.
He's still on the back of Kiddis.
He is.
So, I mean, long race. Long race. What are you going to do? Are you going to,
sprint, it's an endurance race. It's not a sprint, it's an endurance.
That's right. I mean, Kokoschki's obviously got some speed in that car, so is he going to just utilise that and tuck himself underneath the back of Kiddis's wing, or does he feel like he has got more pace and needs to get past
What
Kiddis?
I think is important now, right? So as long as Michael's not running away like what he did last week and the week prior at Mosport, as long as he doesn't run away, Kokoschki may be just happy to sit behind Kiddis and pressure him.
Yeah.
Saving some fuel. Fuel save is going to be a massive thing tonight. You're needing 160 odd litres to get home. You're needing 160 odd litres to get home. Starting with 80 litres, of course, as Jones sets fast off the race, 205.764.
Oh.
But it need a fill of roughly 160 litres across your 2 compulsory pit stops here tonight. And I think the difficulty that would come from that is not only obviously able to map that out correctly, but also actually looking after those tyres for so long. This initial tank run should get you to roughly, I want to argue, maybe about lap 17 or 18. So it doesn't quite get you to critical lap, which is lap 23. But pitting too early is going to offset you a little bit too much. Pitting too late, well, that may be a nail in the coffin for you, and you may be over.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
On your pit stop, as Kokoschki wants it on the inside. Now Kiddis doesn't defend it too hard. Smart play there. Knows that Kokoschki's alongside him. There's no point defending this now. We're only on lap 3 of 50.
That answered our question with a very big full stop on that. I'll tell you now, Kokoschki just said, hey, I'm going to take this and I'm not going to look back because I've got the pace. And already putting about 0.7 on Kiddis, so definitely faster. Feels like he's definitely got a fast car underneath him and he's going to chase down Jones.
Well, he set a faster lap than Kiddis on that previous lap. 205.95, played at 206.02, so it was only a microsector of time that separated them ultimately on that lap, but it's still a quicker lap. Phil Manuel off the pace comparatively as well, 206.56 on that last lap, Buckland at 206.29. So both of them are off the pace of the top 2 as Kiddis is starting to become lunch meat here as Manuel looks to get past him. We'll have to watch now for these old mate and sons cars to start working together. Kiddis and Buckland may need to pull out some teamwork here, some
Kiddis
team
is
tactics.
stuck on the inside there.
Yeah, he may get him back because he'll get the run into Sunset Bend. Watch for
Gary
Blanchard,
hasn't backed him up at all there.
Watch for Blanchard, though, because Blanchard's very smart. He knows the play they're about to try and pull. He'll try and sneak up on Manuel here as well as Buckland. Tightly against the wall. Can he get this job done? Watch for Blanchard to be like a vulture here and pick up the pieces as well. If it comes unglued for them. And now it's a drag race down to the braking zone to turn 1 as Kiddis has got that job done.
Yeah, lap 4 of 50, and we are seeing some pretty heavy battling going on already early in this race. So the guys obviously thinking that they've got some fast cars underneath them, and they want to push past anyone that's going to hold them up. They're going to try and move forward. Look out, Tannick on the outside of Brooke, and has got that job done very quickly. Oh,
indeed.
Just nearly got into the back of Blanchard there.
Trying to pick up places super quickly this stage.
Picking them up all right. He's up 7 now.
Well, he feels like a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old's Easter egg hunt at this point. He's just finding them all over the place. As Blanchard under pressure now as well, trying to put the pressure onto Buckland whilst maintaining position over Tannick as well. Rhiannon's over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel chat. For those who don't know, Rhiannon's my partner, and I'm just getting bullied by her at this point, Brett.
So keep going,
evening to one of my favourite commentators and Hamish. So. Love you too.
Very good. So look at there's me.
I was going to say Rick's pressure on you.
Rick Feig putting a bit of pressure on me there. I was running a little bit wide there. Still, as I felt like I was struggling a bit at this point of the race, and as the race went on, I felt like I got in tune with the car a bit more, and I felt a lot more comfortable further on in the race. Still up here, Blanchard on the back of Buckland, and Tannick in the box seat there. Just looking back further behind myself, I look like I'm a bit of a cork in the bottle there. Viger, Hoffman, Galley, Clark, Monday, Parker, Clifton, Randall, Bush, Stoyles, all the way back to 24th spot from 14.
I'll tell you what,
that's a huge little train.
Horrid race start here for Randall tonight. This is not what he wanted. Already down 10 spots after a mistake at turn 2. This has cost him heavily now. He's going to have to work hard throughout this race to try and claw this one back. May see him pull the strategy that we've seen prior from other drivers, pitting a bit earlier, getting into clean air and pushing on. And that may be the only hope he has to getting back up towards the top 10.
Well, you'd have the inside scoop, wouldn't you, Hamish?
I know exactly what he did because I called it.
Exactly.
I told him.
Isn't it interesting? Now, look at the times. Yep. Look at the times. I mean, there's all the way through the pack. There is a mix of times. Like you've got up front, we've got 206s, 207s, and then 208s, 207s, 208s, and then it comes back down to further down the back. We've got Mick Clifton in 21st to 206, 206, 207. So it's interesting the spread of time all the way up and down this field. Viger's got past myself now, and now we're going to have a bit of harassment from Hoffy.
Well, Andrew Galley's trying to do the team game here of getting back past Hoffy now. I am aware that Andrew Hoffman participated in the Daytona 500 this weekend. The reason I know this is he was in my American friend's server for the Daytona 500 this afternoon. And I saw the entry list. I'm like, oh, Andrew Hoffman was in here. Wild. So how paths can cross.
Yep.
You know,
what a small world. Such a small world. Blanchard looking racy on Tannick. So that Tannick has actually got past Blanchard there. So Tannick is now up to 8 spots gained.
And Blanchard's smart. He's just let him go at this point. He's not pushing him too hard.
Yeah.
He's happy just to sit back, let Tannick push forward, and hope that he may ruin his race or somebody else's. Early on in this race, there's no point for Blanchard trying to battle him. Better just let Tannick go and let Tannick battle other people. And when I say ruin their own race, it doesn't necessarily have to be that Tannick takes him out. It could just be that he battles super intense, super aggressive against them, and Blanchard's right on them the whole time.
And we've talked about that before too. Yeah. It's not a diss against anybody. It's just obviously their racing style, and it can sometimes have detriment to their own race.
Ultimately, Bruce's driving style is very aggressive. He's a very aggressive driver. He'll put his car in a position where if you turn in, you can hit him. Pays off for him sometimes. Other times it doesn't. But that's Bruce's driving style. That's how he approaches racing. Everyone has a different driving style.
And then it's racing.
Exactly.
McCune pits. Scotty McCune in pit lane.
A very early stop here. Now we saw him get hooked up with Randall earlier on down at turn 7. That turned out to be an NFA from race control. In fact, it wasn't even called in by Scott. I think he knew that he had squeezed him. So he's now into pit lane, trying to get this car fixed up this stage. We've already had as well Damon Fisher through pit lane. He came in on lap 2, so he's trying to pull that pit early strategy, build up position by chasing down the pack of battling cars, whilst he has clear track ahead of him as well. Craig Friends came in on lap 1 to fix his car up. He has actually taken some fuel to offset himself slightly, so with a couple of safety cars, he can get right back into it tonight and keep himself within the fight in this race.
6 laps of 50 down so far. We're still seeing this monstrous battle here between Tannick and Buckland at the moment. Tannick's got past Blanchard. He's discharged him, and now he's got his radar set to Buckland.
And just continuing to pressure him as well as they come through turn 15, past the curb of death, up towards Lamar corner at 16 as well, and just keeping this pressure applied ultimately is one of the most important things. We're getting a little bit of pressure behind as well. Cez is now onto the back of Burns, by the way, with McKenzie and header sheet on his tail as well. So it's a battle for pride this evening, as each driver wants to try and push on and get a good result heading out of the longest night in V8 Veterans for this season. 300 Ks around Sebring.
Now, Jones is actually doing what he did last week, and he's actually gapping the field. He's got 3 seconds out on Kokoschki at the moment. Kokoschki's got about 2.5 seconds on Kiddis. Phil Manuel, he's got about 1.5, just short of 1.5 seconds to Buckland. And then, then we're back into that little battle pack. So the front 4 drivers have actually started to spread out. Tanning having a little bit of a look on Buckland then. Just trying to take a bit of a narrow. Jesus. And that was a cramp. That's what happens when you get older.
Oh no, Jesus. Brett. Oh no, get the magnesium gel out right away. Oh no. Where's the cramp, Brett?
Calf.
Oh,
no. Here we go. Bruce
Here
Tannick on
comes
the
Tannick.
inside of Buckland. Is he going to do it?
He's got that
Yeah,
done.
Buckland
And
lets
again,
it go
Buckland, smart
Blanchard
play,
had
just
a
lets him
look
go.
there too.
Yep. Yeah, I've had one in my calf before, Brett, that lasted 5 minutes. It was not a fun time.
Yeah, no, they're not good. They're not good. Anyway, let's move on. So Blanchard still looking racy there. He had a bit of a look when Tannick made that move and tried to go through with Tannick, but couldn't quite pull it off. So Gary just covered off quite nicely there, and that's status quo for them.
You know what, great effort from Ben Brook thus far across these last 7 laps. Held his own, his held position, P8 at this stage, so he's down 1 from his qualifying position tonight. And it means the only driver who's gotten past him is Bruce Tannick, so he's doing pretty well out there inside the top 10. Paul Burns being put under pressure here from Halil Cesar as well, so Paul maybe hoping to survive, but again, so early on in the race, got to try and find some friends out there so early on. It's not a sprint, it's an endurance race to the end, and ultimately trying to work with other people as Brooke has had a massive slowdown. That's allowed both of them past him.
Well, that's going to hurt. That's unfortunate because he was doing really well until that point.
Is it worth high defensive manoeuvres so early on in this race with so many laps to go and the gap starting to build to cars ahead of you as well? I'm hoping for Cesar's case it's not going to be the case here tonight, and for Paul Burns,
Jones out to
hang on.
Jones out to 3.5, 3.6 seconds now, so he's building on that very, very quickly. He's lapping at the moment into 206.660, where Kokoschki did his last lap was a 7.250. Alex Kiddis was a bit faster with a 6.428. So interesting to see what's going on there. Manuel did a 206.990. So Stephen Kokoschki lost a bit of time there.
Yeah, he's given up some time to Jones over the last few laps. Looking at the lap time history of them at this stage, Jones has been out-lapping him here for the last 5 laps of this race, Brett. So ultimately, Kokoschki's going to start to get a move on. Otherwise, the gap's going to start to build. And ultimately, Jones will get a free pit stop in terms of being out of hold position for points, as Hoffman and Andrew Galley, I believe, have gone off together down at turn 10. 2 cars off the road.
Well, that's
Hoffy's one of them.
No longer
Galley
attached.
is the other, as Lovegrove has run it wide, as well as Matt Monday, and I think Shane Reynolds trying to take evasive action as well. It's all happening back here at the back end of town. Matt Monday trying to get himself sorted. He's gone round down here. It's all going off on lap 8 of 50 here at Sebring tonight.
Car behind there slowing as well too, I heard.
I think it's Hoffman. It is Hoffman. He's just run it wide to let Cullen past him. So it's all happening at the back end as the battle up the top continues on as we power towards lap 9. It says it's trying to go for the move here on Burns. Will he let him have it? No, he's going to try and cover him. Again, is there any worth trying to cover him at this point? It's Kokoschki's come into pit lane, so he might be trying to undercut now. Get out in some clean air and just push on and try and get past Jones out of pit lane.
Wide run. Is he upside him there? No. No, he's tucked back in. So, yeah, as you said, Kokoschki in pits. Oh, geez, that was a big lunge. Oh! That was a really large lunge there. And
Burns is being very aggressive here in the defensive acumen. And at this point, Brett, he's already given up 2.5 seconds to the car ahead. Is this even worth it at this point of the race? Watch him down towards 7. All says it looks like he wants to go for the move. He is. It's a late dart. He's alongside before 7. Is Burns going to leave him enough room? There's a bit of contact. He hasn't. They continue on. Burns is off the road as Cesar survives.
Burns coming off second best out of that. But I'll tell you what, have a look behind. Have a look behind Cesar there too. They've bunched up big time. So there's going to be Ben Brook. Got fairly close to header sheet then.
He's back there as well. Reese DeGoey is amongst this too. So he's trying to push on at this stage of the race.
Heddershee's up 6 as well. So Heddershe's pushed forward.
He's done really, really well tonight as the Kiwi winner. And I think it was it last week he took the race win, Brett, out at Silverstone. So
Yeah.
of course, a race winner now this season, knowing that he wouldn't be here for possibly the rest of the season. He didn't think he'd be here tonight, Brett, but he's out there and he's racing.
I was there.
Yeah, so
Unless he's got a someone else in his seat.
at this stage, I've seen as well, there's been a couple of more pit stops here as well. Parker, McCune, Randall have all been in. Same as
Hoffman
Koshy,
just
of
leaving
course.
pits
Hoffman's
as
leaving
well
now.
after that contact.
Friend amongst that back end still needs 2 more stops. He pitted on that 1. So he'll still need
Jones
2 more
out.
stops to count as a sequence.
Jones out, 6
Brooke
seconds
comes into
now.
pits.
So Jones just making time.
He's seriously pushing on at this point is Michael Jones. Mackenzie and Heddersheed pushing forward as well. There's a tight battle further back as Brett Horsel's being put under pressure here from the EWT crew. Scott Weston and fellow Battle of the Bretts driver, Brett Taylor, as well back here.
Yep. Did you mention Ben Brook and Burns in pits?
I said Brooke was, and Burns has only just come
and
in.
Burns.
So yes.
Yep.
With those guys into pit lane. At this stage,
So-
I've promoted a few drivers forward at this point. I'm interested to know the different strategy plays that some drivers are going to try and pull out tonight, Brett. I think if you're going to go long early, I think that's the play at this point. That's the play. You know, get some extra fuel in, offset your strategy slightly, but give yourself wriggle room to come in a bit earlier if you feel that's going to be beneficial to your race. I think underfilling the car is not going to be the beneficial option because you're kind of locking yourself into something early. And if the race doesn't go your way, that's a lot of chips on the table for one hand.
So far, Randall taking the longest stop so far, 38.24 seconds in his stop. The next one down the list is Andrew Hoffman taking 36.45. And then we go down to Scotty McEwen with a 33.05 pit stop time.
Cesar is still getting pressured here by Scott McKenzie, who's in behind him at this point in time of the race. They've got Blanchard ahead of him. Oh no, Cesar's just disappeared off our screens. Oh no.
Has he picked up? Has he picked up Damon's internet?
Well, it looks like he's gone.
Gonski.
Because at this point, he should be blinking back in, and he's not. I think he's
Yeah.
out.
We've got some hardware issues or internet issues
This is
there.
going to be heartbreak for him because he was driving
Yeah,
so
he's
well
done
in the
so
top
well.
10.
Yeah.
And now that's where he's gone. And I think he is into the shadow realm by way of a packet loss. That might be his race done and dusted here this evening.
Yeah,
But,
it's a shame. It's always hard
It's a real shame.
seeing that happen. Yep. But we are all a victim. We are all subject to that happening to us for any reason, power outages or whatever happens. So it's all can happen. Galley and Lovegrove in pit lane.
And track temps are starting to come down now, Brent. So now we're down to 30 degrees here tonight. For track temperature, 26 degrees ambient. So it is starting to come down at this point. But we're still about 6 degrees away from the optimal vets track temperatures of 24 degrees, track temp 18 degrees ambient.
Monday also in pits. So Buckland, back on the Tannic.
Behind him. So if you're Michael Jones, surely you're just pushing on at this point and continuing on, and there's no point coming in early at this stage.
Jones is getting himself back into the situation he was last week, where he was really commanding this race quite strongly. 6-second gap on his next competitor. That's huge. That's in a different league. So you usually see what it can do tonight. We talked about it last week. It's Jones to lose. And it's definitely showing the same thing again this week, is that that gap just is slowly increasing all the time. So
Again,
quite superior on track.
I'm still a believer, Brett, that if Michael could sort out his fuel strategy, he'd be unstoppable here in Split 2. I think that is legitimately his biggest crutch at this point, is the fuel strategy game and the fact that he plays the fill it up early and then take a shorter stop later. Ultimately, I think that is his biggest detriment at this point in time. imagine what it would do for him if he was in a team that could help him sort out his strategy, sort out his fuel.
Yep.
So then he can race how he's racing, and not be buried in the pack by a very long stop early in the race.
Couple of faster laps. Scott Hamish
you're
McCune's doing a 206.425, and Simon Heddersheed doing 206.580.
Well, yourself and Mick Clifton are down to pit lane here, Brett.
Yep.
As we just hit lap 12 of 50, so we're slowly creeping on up the number of kilometres here tonight. Ron Allen has got big pressure on the back of him from Brett Horsell. Big crowd of cars, by the way, who are currently up 14 spots. Allen, Horsell, Weston, Taylor, all up 14. Cullen up 16. Bush and Stoyles up 13. Clark up 10. Viger up 8. DeGoey up 10. But pit stops have been commencing, so there will be some filtering of that field and some decontamination in terms of the number of positions that have been gained for some drivers who are further up the order here tonight.
Biggest time in pit at the moment has been Derek Lovegrove with the 41.7. So he's taken plenty of fuel on there.
Plenty of fuel on board that car. Be interesting how the car's handling with that. Namely as well, just to give the update on Randall. So when he actually came in on lap 8 and he put that much fuel in, he actually filled the car to the brim. So he's actually probably taken a good part of 90 odd litres that has actually filled his car to the brim. So the car should actually be planted a little bit more now off the back of that pit stop. Yes, he's done obviously quite a few laps ever since he's come through pit lane. That's the important part to think about now for some drivers who've taken their fuel. Have they filled it up to the brim to kind of stabilise the car with such a loose setup around here that can then help you push on for faster lap time? And I think that's where the game that's currently being played for Randall here tonight is just trying to get stabilisation in the car, keep up the pace and push on, because ultimately he's dropped 10 spots in this race off the back of a mistake of his own and then a mistake of somebody else. So right now he's trying to maximise, get up positions, and I think if he gains any positions tonight or gets into the top 10, that'll be good enough as a win for him here in terms of making up for something that's been lost so early in the race.
Well, he's got to protect he's got to try and protect his championship as much as possible there too. So he wants to try and get as many points as he can, continue his racing push for this championship, and hopefully everything will sort itself out. I only need a few things to happen on track. We might get a safety car and things like that, but time will tell.
At this point too, Bruce Tannock has still got Gary Buckland hot on his heels. So I think for Tannock now, he's not pushing on quite as aggressively. He's got that initial race start jitters out of him, got up 10 spots. Sits comfortably in P4. He can just slowly push on now. Hope a safety car pulls him up towards the race leaders, and then he can push on again in an aggressive manner. But he doesn't need to be aggressive right now because he's already gotten past the amount of cars. Ultimately, he needed to off the race start to get himself in contention for a podium here tonight.
I'm sure Gary will be quite happy to just sit there behind him, stay as close as possible, get a bit of a fuel advantage from him, and just, just let's roll the laps out. There's no point in, fighting for a position to only just lose it again and overstress your car and your tyres. I found that if you did slide the car and your tyres heated up, it took a lot to bring them back and stabilise them. So it's very important to look after those tyres under the car with what you've got. Monday doing the best lap of his race so far, 206.327.
Ron Allen's just done his best as well. He's just done a 7.0, so there's still some time to be found in this M1 Racing Mustang here tonight. Now, he obviously got Horseland behind him, who both you and I, Brett, this season have been very impressed by Brett's driving. Must be said. Yeah. He's driving very, very well, as is Brett Taylor. As Phil Manuel's now into pit lane, by the way. Both of those guys are driving very, very well. Ultimately, though, Brett, at this stage of the season, you've already come into pit lane. At this stage of the season, you are at peak performance, Brett. I don't think I've ever seen you drive better this season or any other season compared to this season.
Yes, it's quite funny because I didn't feel like that I started the season off all that fantastic, but just trying to, minimise the mistakes, just trying to sort of, push on, get as much practice as I can, get my head around the car and the handling and all that sort of stuff pre-race. And as I think I said to you or I said to the broadcast earlier, I wasn't really excited with how I was driving this car throughout the week. I just wasn't. I thought there was more in it for me, but I just couldn't find it, you know. And it's just one of those things where last week I felt like the car was alive. I felt like I could really drive the car and get, you know, really wring its neck and get a lot out of the car. Where this week I found like it just didn't come to me naturally, and that's, you know, I had to fight for it a bit harder. But as the race went on, I sort of felt a bit more comfortable in there. We've got, who's that dropping
That's
down?
Ben Brooks just getting past Phil
Brent
Manuel,
Brook.
who's just came out of pit
yeah.
lane. So Phil's just exited out and coming in behind Ben. So it's a relatively good game for Ben through pit lane, but he has taken a 9-second faster pit stop than what Phil did. So there will be a reset after the next stop that will equalise these guys out a tad. As Bruce Tannick has just gone off the road. Oh my God, that is a wild incident for that Mag and Turbo car. Massive incident to that car. This could be a safety car.
I'd say with a broken front end like that, the right-hand side's really all discombobulated, and the front splitter is gone. I don't know whether that motor's running or not.
I don't think it is.
Definitely going to cause a safety car.
Jones has stayed out. Jones has stayed out. The safety car driver's just hopped on board the Racecraft Simulations safety car, but it's not come out of pit lane just yet. So for Jones, he's got to bring it in at the end of this lap. And those drivers who've already come into pit lane, they've got a choice to make now. That they could either come in again, offset their fuel slightly, commit to a 3-stop, or they could stay out and take track position. And I think ultimately it depends where you started this race and where you currently sit. I think if you're further back and you started further back, you take the advantage of coming in now, offsetting the fuel, and getting some time back on the road in your next pit stop.
We go. We've got DeGoey in pits. We've got Viagra in pits. Clark, Bush, Stoyles, Allen, Horsell, Taylor, and it wasn't Kokoschki.
No, Steve, it has already.
You all right, mate?
Race. I am.
Do you need a bit of a?
No,
do you need a bit of a kip?
No, well, I do because I'm not that well at the moment. So, but I'm here and we're pushing on. Oh, Jones just lost the rear end. That's got to be a money shift, Brett. The way the back end of that car went round, that's got to be a money shift down at turn 10, and the race leader is off the track.
What has he done?
And that car is not starting up.
Oh, second week in a row. What has he done? He's thrown it away. Oh, my heart goes out to Jones. What a travesty this is going to be for him. Had a 6.5-second lead over the pack, and he's cooked it.
He just pushed it too hard. He's pushed it too hard back to pit lane.
Out yet, or?
Well, it's awaiting the race leader, which is now Alex Kiddis. So it's awaiting Kiddis to come around to the pit lane to pick him up. So the issue for Jones is just pushing that little bit too hard. Has cost him big time here tonight.
Yeah, wow. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, Jones, we said it last week, it's his to lose. And what has he done? He's money shifted it. Unbelievable. So strategy this week hasn't hurt him. You know, just unfortunate driver error. Kiddis in pit lane. Here we go. Buckland in pits. Here we go. They're all heading to pits.
We expect them all in. There'll be no point staying out at this point. You've had a free pit stop offered to you unless you've already been in. So Kokoschki's already been into pit lane, but he has a 10-second gap over Phil Manuel. Then it's a further 8 seconds back to DeGoey, then a further 10 seconds back to Clifton. So maybe if he's willing to give up 3 spots, he could come in, Brett, and offset his fuel a bit more. He won't drop many positions, but he will drop at least 3.
Yeah. I can't believe that for Jones. My heart goes out to him. Unfortunately, Jones throwing another race away because he's clearly, and Kokoschki staying out, clearly, you know, just a level up from other competitors on the track with putting, you know, 6.5 seconds in between him over 16 laps. Here we go.
So Kiddis exits in P2. As Kokoschki now has taken the race lead. Manuel will exit in P4, or they come past in P3, sorry. Buckland out in P4. Where's the going to end up in comparison to his fellow Kiwi? McKenzie, he's gotten past both him and Hedesheed, and he's gotten past Blanchard as well. So all of those guys who are yet to pit have come out, and they've come out just at the back end of the top 10.
Who's going to be close? Is it Hedesheed or Clifton?
I think it should be header sheet. He was at the cone
Yeah, I
before
think so,
Clifton
yeah.
actually came past. So, I mean, you had the front row seat, Brett. What was it like from your point of view?
Oh, I don't know. Jeez, I can't see sight. I'm not a both of my eyes don't go in different directions. I couldn't see both cars at the same time.
Well, maybe they should. Have you thought about growing 2 extra eyes, Brett?
I'm not a Tasmanian. Oh, Jesus. That's going to get me a lot of. That's going to get me a lot of trouble.
Wayne Shepherd and Luke Ullman are going to come after you now, Brett. You know.
Yeah,
that,
you
right?
know. Oh, I'll make it even worse now. You know that South Australia, South Australians is proof that Tasmanians can swim.
Jesus, Brett.
I've offended one state. I might as well go for another.
What have you got for Western Australia?
Nothing. I'm going to stop there. I think 2 states after me is
I
bad
don't
enough.
really have anything for WA other than the fact that you go an hour outside of Perth and there's nothing, unless you go south, and then you find places like Bunbury and stuff like that. So, and then Queensland, it's wet and hot. Northern Territory, wet and hot. New South Wales, big spider. Victoria can't choose what weather pattern it wants to have.
Yeah, what was the pattern?
And then New Zealand, the cousin that we call on Christmas Day instead of inviting over to the household.
Yeah, and anything good coming out of New Zealand, we claim as our own.
Yep. It's that like Russell Crowe,
Yeah.
Pavlova as well.
Yeah.
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 A bit like US residents claiming Canadians. You know,
Yeah.
we claim these Canadians, and then the Canadians do not claim US citizens. They don't claim any of them.
No. Unbelievable. We're going to get in a lot of trouble. Halfman just cruising past the safety car now, being a lucky dog, getting his lap back there. I think that might be the only one for this session.
The only other one that would have been eligible would have been Halil Cesar, but unfortunately, because he's out of the race,
he can't.
He can't get it. So I know he's back in the garage. He was seething when he found out. In fact, Brett, with the inside scoop here. So when he actually disappeared, he then also got into an incident. I think Scott McKenzie must have hit him on his end, not on Scott's end. So, and he's tried to call it into race control, and he's come back in after the dropout, and I said we couldn't hear. They wouldn't be able to see it anyway. You would drop due to pack of loss. So even if they call it in, even if you call it in, it just looks like Scott's driving along without doing anything. So, you know, and what can you do? Scott can't see him. You know, like,
it's not. Yeah, unfortunate stuff.
That'd be an awkward pit stop when Scott comes in and he realises he's got optional repairs. Who the hell have I hit?
Yeah. What's going on here? 17 laps of 50, and we're just starting lap 17. Oh, another crack. Left side this time. Jesus.
Oh, at least you're equal.
Oh, Jesus. That's not much fun at all. Anyway.
At least you're even, Brett. That's the important part. At least you're even.
Yeah. So now Kokoschki is leading this race at the moment with Kiddis, Manuel, Buckland, DeGoey in the top 5. Back Mackenzie, Blanchard, Heddershee, Clifton, and myself top 10. Viger, Allen, Burns, Clark, and Bush for the top 15. Stoyles, Randall, Horsell, Weston, and Taylor for top 20.
But I tell you what, we're not even at the halfway point of this race yet.
No.
We've still got another sort of 7 laps or 8 laps until we get to the halfway point. It's another 16 minutes. We're going to be here for another, probably nearly another hour. For the rest of this race.
I'm going to have to go and get snacks.
Don't worry, we will get a scheduled ad break at the halfway point of the race, and if there is a late safety car as well. So if anyone is running low on snacks or drinks out there,
go and get them.
It's more so for my sick body to go get a refueling drink.
Poor Hamish.
I know.
How are we all going out there in Chatland too? Get some comments, throw some comments in there. Let's see what's happening, spice things up a bit. Who do you think's going to win the championship? You know, like who's going to stick it to the man?
At the moment, it's hard to look past the Kiwi of Reece DeGoey. I know he was very well, I'm not going to say very, very sour, but he was probably a little bit sour of season 24 when he just didn't quite carry the momentum that both Doble and Cesar did when he was last in contention.
If De Goey wins, can we claim him as Australian?
I mean, maybe.
That's unbelievable.
Maybe. We've got some love in the chat from Peter Kelleher for his Synergy Sim Racing teammate and Stephen Kokoschke. He's done a great job tonight, I must say. Stephen's probably been, I would argue Stephen's probably been one of two drivers who've impressed me the most this evening in terms of how he's been driving tonight. I've really been liking how this car's looked.
Faz.
Faz
is on board
as well. Great to have you watching with us, Faz. Yeah, Stephen's probably number one on my list of drivers that's impressed me thus far tonight, Brett. I think alongside him, I look to Scott McKenzie, driven very, very well tonight, currently up inside of the top 10. And then I've been really impressed tonight by one Chris Blanchard as well, driving very, very smart, very, very clean, and a nod to Gary Buckland as well. Both those guys driving very similar strategies this evening. Look forward to seeing how they do across the next 30-odd laps or so.
So the advantages here too is Blanchard. So let's have a look. The first of the two stoppers we've got at the moment is Benjamin Brook, Damien Fisher, Craig Friend.
But they will need one more because we're
fuel
before the critical lap. So
I think I hear the safety car take off. But what I was going to say, in the people out there that are leading at the moment, the longest stop at the moment is Christopher Blanchard with a 45.6 second pit stop with Simon Hedersheet of 45.04. So they're going to be in some healthy waters.
Taking advantage, Brett, of the yellow flag pit stop that's been given to them. Ultimately.
Definitely.
And that's a very, very important strategy to bring into tonight and to bring into this race because it is such a long race. Taking advantage of these slower runs through pit lane and around the track is crucial to your race. When they take a green flag stop later, if they have a green flag stop later, they are going to be at a massive advantage over the rest of the field. We'll see when
Kokoschke's got the control of the field.
He's not gone just yet.
No. Look at Manuel. Holding. Now he's gone.
Green flag.
On the bridge.
Green flag at Sebring. Beginning lap 18 of 50. Here tonight, Kokoschke leads the way down towards turn 1. Blanchard and Hedersheet are going at it as well. Mick Clifton's wanting to get involved. The rock star of Accelerate Sim Racing. As he tries to run it around the outside.
Can he do anything with it? So Clifton's going to have the inside on this one, but no. Hedersheet makes it through, gives him plenty of room there. Now tucked in there.
What this has done is it's compressed everyone back together again, Brett. And now we look at some of the different strategy plays that are being pulled out here. So those longer stoppers we mentioned, Blanchard, Hedersheet, pretty much they've got to be within 9 or more seconds of the front runners to get to the lead of this race upon the next stop, especially if this battle stays close. So the key number for Blanchard and Hedersheet is 9 or more seconds, as Matt Monday has been passed down the inside by Brett Taylor.
I think Ron Allen just flashed off track there for a second as well.
I tell you what, Mick's driving really, really well tonight as well. He's had a tough run this season, up and down season, if you will. Up 18 at the moment, into the top 10. Brett, you're also in the top 10. So both of you guys have gone together to get up there. But yeah, so watch that time on the clock to be within 9 seconds or more, depending on who the gap is to Kokoschke. Yeah. He's taken a 17-second shorter stop than both Hedersheet and Blanchard. That's a pretty easy gap to make. It's a pretty easy gap to maintain ultimately. So I actually think for Kokoschke, because he had the shorter stop before, he would have been better off coming in when the safety car was called, only dropping a couple of positions, coming back out again, and then taking the shorter stop later in the race.
Yeah, and we talk about it a lot of the weeks. It's also, it's handy if you've got a spotter or a crew chief or something like that can do all the calcs for you and sort of say, do this. Sometimes if you're the only person in the seat, you've got to do a lot of thinking fairly quickly. Sometimes doesn't always pan out. Kokoschke doing a 2:05.814, so nice little lap there. That's about...
He's fastest to the whole race, Brett.
Yeah.
So he's found some speed on board this car. And his
So
tyres
he's
are
on a
about
mission.
well, his tyres probably about 10 laps old now. Thanks to the fact the safety car saved him a couple of laps of tyre wear. So maybe only 9 laps worth of wear are on these tyres at this point in time. Obviously, fresh tyres. The car's directly behind him. It's not until we get down to Paul Burns, we have the next car with significantly older tyres than the rest of the field, and then behind him will be Shane Randall, who's now only down 5 positions, Brett, compared to the 10 positions he was down prior to the first stop. So he's already made up 5 spots by that strategy play that he pulled to come in early, getting clean air and push on.
And he's going to have that advantage too for the longest stop. Pardon me. He's not the longest stop, but he did do a longer stop than some others out there. So if he's going to be able to capitalise on his positioning throughout this little stint, here we go, and attack. Geez, that was a big look.
It was a massive
Unless
look.
it was a, yeah. So Randall looking racy. He's going to try and make up as many positions as he can, and that's going to take that slight advantage over other people's pit stops and push him a little bit further later on in the race.
Well, Jeremy Bush as well, currently up 10, as is Matt Stoyles. So both of these guys have made a run forward here up double-digit positions. I want to try and maintain this run now and maybe try and gain a couple more as well. Interesting to see how Roy Clark does here tonight as well. He had that horrid race at Monksport a few weeks ago where his shifter actually broke on the rig and almost became like a floating standing shifter. The internals of it having a massive failure. That cost him a good position and a good finish out at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. As Stoyles looks to go to the inside of Bush.
I was going to say, and clean move. Randall also had a little bit of a look there, but probably a bit late to make that dive. Fastest lap of the race. Gary Buckland does a 2:05.584. And look at all those fastest laps of the race, poking their little heads out for a lot of people there.
A lot of drivers finding their pace at this point on fresher tyres and cooler conditions as well. We're now down to 29 degrees track temp. 25 ambient as well, so the ambient temperature is not coming down, but the track temperature is currently down 5 degrees ambient at this stage of the race. Down
a little
3.
bit of a slide there for Stoyles.
Yeah, we're down. Sorry, 6 degrees track temperature tonight. Down 3 ambient temperature at this point. As everyone is still going at it hard here. Kiddis has still got Kokoschki in his sights. 1.1 seconds is the gap. He's got Manuel in behind him. Just under a second, who's got Buckland with the fastest lap of the last race, 2:05.58. Hot on his heels, the Camaro driver, formerly a Mustang fanatic, and I'll say it again, Gary Buckland just looks wrong not being in a Mustang, Brett. I'll be honest with you. just looks wrong. Doesn't look like it's correct.
Just something on Kiddis too. If Kiddis can have a top 5 finish tonight, that's impressive for me, because it means he's been able to sort of carry his momentum a bit further this season, and sort of cementing himself a bit better in Split 2, I believe.
Well, let's look at the contenders, current contenders, who are currently within the top 5 on the road. Kiddis, Manuel, DeGoey. They're all around about the top 5 of the championship at this stage. The other drivers who are up the order as well in the title race, Kokoschki, Buckland as well, Blanchard, Header Sheets within the top 5 at the moment, but we know he's going to miss a race or two. And then that's it. Well, then we get back sort of to yourself, Brett, where you're more towards the back end of the top 10, but you've been kind of plucking away, getting consistent finishes this season. Those other guys have been having proven performances up and around the podium, race-winning performances as well. And that's really been the key for them. And then on the other side of that coin is the comparison to one of the other drivers, or 2 other drivers, who is amongst that sort of top 5, top 7 marker. Shane Randall, down 5 at the moment, P17, has work to do if he wants to get back in the top 10. And then Joel Oosterwald, who's away this weekend over to Schumer Bathurst, using a drop round here this evening.
Oh, geez. Manuel got a little bit light off that turn there, got a bit airborne. Car got unsettled a bit, and Gary Buckland just said, hello, come in. I'm going to have a look here. And just opened up the opportunity a bit, but decided not to. Decided, nay, I will not take that opportunity just yet. But Gary Buckland's looking very threatening there at the moment on Manuel. Oh, what's going on here?
That's Matt Parker, who's gone off the road, and I saw Scotty McCune was dropping some spots as well, so I wonder if these guys have had a bit of a tangle we'll look into it at the end of the
Oh, he's
race
got it going again.
in the post-race
Yeah.
highlights, of course, as we normally do every
I
single
like
week.
the post-race highlights.
I made the graphic last Sunday, but I was well put
Very good.
Um,
I love the post. The two favourite things apart from the race is the qualifying and the post-race. I love it. Get onto it, everyone.
I think it's so fun that we found a way to call qualifying, and then also obviously show off incidents that we missed throughout the race as well by getting into
that's
post-race
great.
highlights. And if I had more time between Thursday and Saturday, I would make an actual highlights package that we would play. Unfortunately, I don't. On a normal week, I'm broadcasting on a Friday afternoon.
Come on.
On a normal week, I'm broadcasting on a Friday afternoon, and normally during the day on Saturday, I might be doing something else.
Righto.
So,
Little pack down here, Randall. He's getting pretty feisty too. Just look at some of the time distances there between some of the drivers. So from Stoyles, Bush, Randall, Horsell, Weston and Taylor. There's not much between those guys. They're on track at the moment. Lap 22, just about to be completed, or has been completed by our leaders.
We're etching towards the halfway point of this race, of course. Ultimately, this race, if we were to go lap after lap, should roughly go for around about an hour and a half, roughly.
Still some guys out there doing the fastest lap of the race. So myself, Roy Clark, Weston and Lovegrove doing the fastest lap of their race so far. So the pace starting to pick up. As you were saying before, the track temperature coming down slightly, being a bit more favourable on the cars and the tyres. So it depends on how you're driving at the moment, whether you're not overdriving the car.
As well as they lean in towards turn 7 and into the braking zone. Randall's looking for a look on the inside of Bush. Can he get this job done?
Well, I was going to say, we can't see it from there. We can only see the bloody driver. We're not going to see whether he gets the pass done or not. It's all right. That was probably just a slip of the finger, was it?
That was, yeah. I thought it was this camera. I was wrong. It's because one of my other cars, for my custom cameras, I have nose set as the dash cam. So it's, that's why. That's where the confusion has come from. But
it's all good. When in doubt, mash the keypad.
I might stop the stream if I do that, so I don't know if I will.
Yeah. No, so further down the back too, looking at Lovegrove, Brooke and Friend. There's a nice little feisty pack there. Brooke having a bit of a look, or was it
Now, we need to watch for Craig Friend as well here, but remembering he's already taken 2 stops tonight. Still needs a third, but he took us in, he took probably around about, I want to argue maybe 50-odd litres in his first stop, but he was around about a 24-second stop.
No, he didn't.
How do you know?
You said you wanted to argue. Come on. Move on.
He's probably taken around about 50-odd litres in his first stop, maybe 60 litres.
No, he didn't.
I'm sure he didn't. He's probably taken 60 litres in his last stop, which is then probably leaving him roughly 40-odd litres to give in his final stop of the race. So that may gain him some positions just yet and get himself back up the order. I do think a top 10's out of the realm tonight, but if safety cars and strategy goes his way as we just hit critical lap, he may be in it. He may be in it just yet, but time will tell. We've seen crazier times happening. It recalls back to Mark Houghton at Road America back in season 14. Goes a lap down on lap 1. Goes home to win the race in the end as Lovegrove.
Going underneath there, underneath Lovegrove, just taking advantage of that. So he'll be dirty on himself there for having a bit of a lock-up. Sorry to cut you off there, Hamish.
That's okay.
Hey,
so yeah,
crazy
things have happened as Friend's looking for a job here on Lovegrove, but he wants to try and go up the inside, locks it up, knew that he was going to try and make contact, has run it wide, that's allowed Friend past, and Damon Fisher as well, and it's nearly let past the returning Michael Jones to the circuit, passing too. Jones now back onto the lead lap at this stage of the race, as he continues to push on at this stage, as Phil Manuel, I believe, has just had a minor off track. He has. That's going to allow DeGoey past. Already allowed Buckland past him as well. Watch for McKenzie too.
McCune. And and Blanchard sitting there too, ready to go. He's got the gun cocked, ready to fire. Clifton looks like he just got past Heddersheet, I think. or Heddersheed might have had a bit of a whoopsie. I think that
Or Matt Parker running it wide further back.
Parker.
That's not good for him. But what is
Yeah, I
good
was
is Kokoschki with a 1 second gap over Kiddis. Kiddis, they were the fastest lap of the race last time by 2:05.66 on the lap prior for Alex Kiddis. Just pipping his teammates' previous best time.
Well, it's still showing on here Gary Buckland holding the fastest lap of the race.
I don't know why it's classifying it as the fastest, Brett, when Buckland has done a faster lap. It's very odd.
Yeah, right. I'll leave that alone. I was going to say before with Lovegrove, watching that we seen him have a little bit of a slide in the car or whatever that was before, and then a few turns later, that happening again. It's just those tyres heating him up enough just to sort of, if you get in your normal braking zone, things like that, just getting the car unsettled and a bit of heat in the tyres, just not so sticky and causing yourself some trouble. Matt Parker in pit lane.
So Parker in after an off-track previously. We're past critical lap now here tonight, so if anyone pits at this stage, they can get home to the very end. As Kokoschki has run it way wide down at turn 10.
What's going on?
That's going to give Kiddis the race lead. And have the tyres finally fallen away from him after pitting on lap 8, he has done, I want to say, it's nearly 17 laps on that set of tyres.
Yeah. But that's an unforced error.
It is.
That is a big unforced error
uncharacteristic
there.
as well for Kokoschki to make such an error too.
I'd like to find out what happened there, whether it was just lapse in concentration or a bit of a lock-up or something like that. But that was, same again. No one wants to win this race.
Apparently not.
I know we're a fair way away from it, but at the moment, but as soon as you get in the lead, things go to water. Anyway, moving on. Manuel at the moment sitting just behind Goey. Mackenzie Blanchard, Clifton. Nice little pack there.
They're doing very, very well at this stage of the night. And as we circle around to begin lap 25, we're going to take this chance to give a shout out to our series sponsors once again. Shout out Racekraft Simulations. They've been a title sponsor of the series ever since season 18. To Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Player One Sim Gear, Nova Simsports, Südspeed gloves, LGC Images and M1 Used Cars for giving us our Driver of the Day award. A massive, massive thank you to all those supporters out there, and we want to give a little extended thank you to Racecraft by giving you Racecraft Simulations ad break at this stage of the race. The action won't go away, we'll just get a little ad break happening in the bottom corner of your screens for the next few laps. As Brett's just said that while I had him muted, you can go get snacks, Brett. But if you're over in WA, head over to 16 Grogan Road, Perth Airport. Chat to John and the team. Check out some of the rigs they have on the floor. And if you've got the spare cash, fork it out for that beautiful PT1 as well. Don't go anywhere though. We'll return with round 7 action of season 26 for the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans with the split 2 action on your screen as we've hit the halftime bonanza here out at Sebring International Raceway. We're back soon. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Sebring International Raceway here this evening for round 7 of season 26 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Split 2, live simulcast on the Infinity Broadcasting Network and the V8 Veterans channel as well, as Sean Cullen has just had an off track in the midway point of the circuit. We come about a break and past the halfway point of the race as well. Here's Alex Kiddis leading the way by 0.8 of a second over Stephen Kokoschki, and Brett, at this point of the race, it is arguably the most difficult point of the race, survival. Surviving the midway point, surviving the pressure that can be applied at the midway point of the session as well, and just surviving to the final 10 laps or so is arguably most crucial at this stage. I've caught Brett at the very last moment, apparently. He was not back.
Oh, sorry, I just walked back into the room.
That's okay. That's all right. I gave
Did you ask me a question?
I did ask you a question. I want you to answer it without me asking you again.
Yep. 15 and on Sunday.
Interesting answer. Would you like to know what the question was to see how correct or incorrect you were?
Yes, please.
The question was, at this stage of the race is the most difficult compared to the start and the finish, because you're trying to keep yourself in check, keep yourself nice and clean going forward. This is often the point of the race where drivers will lose concentration and mistakes can be made, and maintaining lap time and pushing on, knowing how much longer there is to still go in the race. I mean, we're an hour in, we're only just past the halfway point, we've still got another hour to go. How much does that weigh on the drivers, and how much weight does the midway point of the race have?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, as we just saw not that long ago, and he's starting to sort of making grounds on Kiddis now, Kokoschki, was that one of Kokoschki's little things where he just lost concentration for a second? You know, I mean, it does happen. It happens all the time. We say about 10:30 is, you know, when that time sort of slips around. You know, you start and sort of get a bit fatigued. Us old bastards, us.
Well,
but
stage,
it does happen.
At this stage of the race, we'd be edging up onto roughly 10 o'clock p.m. For Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So that would then obviously start to have a part to play too. The Kiwis out there will be edging onto midnight as well at this point of the race. So that's where the difficulties can start to lie. Ron Allen in the chat with us too. Great to have you out there, Ron, watching along with us. Good evening to you, sir.
Where's your late note, Ron?
Yeah, where's your late note, Ron? As Crosby got it. Or is Kennedy providing the late note for us tonight? Possibly.
This is quite good. Have a look at this. Kiddis Kokoschki. Kokoschki's chasing down Kiddis. And the silent assassin just in the background there, Gary Buckland in third spot. What a great run he's had so far, up 2 positions, but not that far behind him. Have a look at Reese DeGoey, 15 plus. So he would be absolutely ecstatic.
Well,
with that.
Our championship leader. Our championship leader, if he can finish where he is, he'll extend his championship lead. He'll be the first driver this season to maintain the championship lead off the back of a round. As Kokoschki's gone right up on the back of Kiddis there. Ron Allen has given us an apology in the chat. He was racing in Südspeed, so that's why he was.
Oh, good on you, mate. Well done.
Good job there, Ron. Hope you did well. How'd your race go? Let us know in the chat how your race went. And if it went better than you're currently doing now in P11.
As I was saying before, Kokoschki definitely got a bit more pace.
Oh, what a catch off the slide.
wanting to definitely sort of try and get back up to where he was in first position. Is he just overcooking it a little bit?
Those rears are just starting to come away from him now. They're just starting to wear away. And the problem now is if he keeps on pushing, yes, he's going to keep on applying pressure to Kiddis, but he's going to be applying pressure to himself as well. So now he's got a choice to make. Does he go 22 laps in his first stint and go to lap 30 and then come in? Or does he go 20 on this stint and go 22 to the end of the race? Because ultimately he needs to pit fairly shortly, not only because of fuel limitations, but also the tyre limitations too, and how poorly those tyres are at this stage of the race.
If I was Kokoschki, I'd be just trying to keep an eye on the lap times and see if there's a big drop off. See what the drop off is. If there's a big enough drop off that I think that it warrants coming in, or if he starts to close back up on Kiddis, it just goes to prove that he might be able to save a little bit of fuel to get tucked back up again. but I'm not sure whether he's too keen to actually save fuel. I think he's keen to get back in front of Kiddis.
I think he is indeed. We've got some battles forming in behind as well. De Goey being put under pressure here from Phil Manuel. De Goey's fellow Kiwi and Scott McKenzie's in there as well. Blanchard and Clifton in amongst this two. Little 5-car pack.
Oh,
The
Lovegrove
battle
dropping.
for the top 5 as Lovegrove is dropping positions, although he's battling away with Craig Fred.
and
Look
just-
at this
yeah.
gaggle of cars back here, Brett. They're all having a piece of it, and they all want a piece of the pie.
So I've seen before, he was, I think Lovegrove might have been in front of Ben Brook. And Brook got past him and Friend got past him. So, run wide there from Monday.
Monday, and Friend's got off the road.
Oh, no, not again, Friend.
So Matt Monday may have some answering to do from race control. That could be a drive-through penalty. Craig Friend has been in the wars tonight, Brett. He is not having a good race.
It has not been his, sorry.
Could we say he doesn't have a friend in Matty?
He doesn't have a friend in him. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, he's been tied up in a lot of incidents tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He'd be spewing. He was just starting to sort of make a bit of inroads back on. But unfortunately, that is racing, folks.
He's indeed. Further up the order, Brett Horsell being put under pressure here from Jeremy Bush as well. Scott Weston, Brett Taylor, Michael Jones and Damon Fisher all involved in this as well. Sean Vandermillen in the chat with us saying G. Buckland 1 vote, driver of the day before I nod off. Unfortunately, this is Sebring. We've still a long way to go, unfortunately. It is a long race tonight. Long race is, we have to say short race is a good race, but I'd argue, Brett, we could have too short of a race. I mean, a 2-lap race would...
That'd be way
best,
short.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be interesting at all.
I am the
All that
believer,
time
Brett,
for
that
qualifying
the best length of races in vets is the 250Ks. That's my belief. The 250Ks are the best race. They're condensed enough that there's chaos. They're long enough that it doesn't end too quickly. And they're
Phil
long enough
Manuel
as well.
in pits.
Yep, he is in for his final stop. They're also long enough for a good strategy play as well. So I'm a big fan of the 250K races.
We could do 10 5-lap races. No, that wouldn't be fun at all. Hoffman in pits, Ben Brooks in pits, and Phil Manuel, as we talked before, in pits. Little battle pack going on here. Jones trying to sort of make his way back up again.
I think
Damage on the front of that car too.
Ultimately for Jones, he's going to have to come in now on his next stop, probably take a few litres of fuel and just push on. Whether he takes tyres on is another story, as Gary Buckland has just gone off down at turn 10. So another victim to turn 10 here tonight. This time it is Gary Buckland. No, it was Vandermeer who put in that driver of the day vote.
Oh, sorry, it was too.
But yeah, that's a tough go around for Buckland on that stage.
He hasn't lost a spot, but he's fallen back into the clutches of De Goey. De Goey, Blanchard, McKenzie and Blanchard. So see if he can gather it up. Hopefully he hasn't overheated the tyres too much and he can just maintain that bit of a gap he's got there. Oh, what's going on here?
Oh, look who that is, Brett.
Yeah.
That's you. In the top 10.
Burns having a bit of a crack here. Now, Viger actually was behind me for a fair while and Burns has got past Viger and now going to have a bit of a crack at myself.
Well, Rick knows he's taken a significantly longer stop. He's got about 12 seconds to gain on both you and Paul after this next stop. As Kokoschki is finally in. So he comes in lap 31. It'll be a 20-lap run to the end of this race as Buckland comes past, as does De Goey. No one else is going to follow him in at this stage, but 20 laps to go. He's split the race in half pretty much off his bold strategy to come in earlier in the race before the commencement of lap 10. We'll see how this now pays out for Stephen Kokoschki of Synergy Sim Racing. Still yet to take a win this season. He'll be hoping for one here tonight at Sebring.
Tell you what, Paul Burns still on the back of me big time there. He's under 0.2 of a second. Having another bit of a look there. Must be feeling like he's being held up a bit by me. Probably was. I don't know. I was doing the best I could do. Jeez, he's right up there.
I mean, you're driving a spectacular race at this point, Brett. Obviously, P9 on the road. You've got Viger in behind you guys. Stoyles as well starting to creep up. And look who's creeping up back towards where he started this race in P12, Shane Randall,
Randall,
P13.
yeah.
So, obviously Shane's already won a Driver of the Day award this season, so we really can't nominate him for a comeback drive tonight. If he pulls off this comeback drive, though, and gets in the top 10, easily a shout-out, I think, is viable.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Because if he can pull off a top 10 finish tonight, that'll be a mega result as Bush and Weston have come round down at turn 7. So the aggression's been rising to this point of the race. We're lap 31 of 50. And for Bush and for Weston, Weston's just kept going, so he's not willing to wait for Jezza to let him go. And that locked-on lads car looking rather, well, it doesn't actually look too bad off the back of that incident there, Brett.
No, it doesn't, no. A little bit of a crinkle on the fender.
But not horrid, not absolutely horrid at this point. As everyone continues to push on at this stage of the race. Brett Fisher, P9 at this stage. Paul Burns, Rick Viger in behind. Matt Stoyles, Shane Randall, Roy Clark. What a race for Roy tonight. Up 7 positions in this race. A top-notch performance for previous alias of Crash Clark out there. Brett Horsell up 14. Taylor up 15. Damon Fisher up 14 as well. And inside of our top 10,
right there,
Ron
Dave.
Allen up 10. Mick Clifton up 21. And Reese Zagowie up 16.
And Clifton just doing the fastest lap of his race, a 2:06.485.
He's driving very well. Super switched on here tonight is the rock star Mick Clifton. We're lap 32 of 50 now, 19 laps to go.
Hits.
19 to go. And the next time that this track will see action in real life will be the weekend of the Sebring 12-hour, with IMSA getting prepared for round 2 of their season for 2026 off the back of an impressive Porsche Penske win at Daytona International Speedway for the Daytona 24-hour. They'll be hoping to go 2 in a row to start the season as they head into Sebring for the Sebring 12-hour. Of course, we've got the Bathurst 12-hour this weekend in real life. The Daytona 500 is also on this weekend. It's a packed weekend for motorsport. Bathurst 12-hour tomorrow, Daytona 500 tomorrow as well. This weekend for you iRacers out there, the Daytona 500 special event. Coming up next weekend, the Bathurst 12-hour special event. In the beginning of March, Brett, is the OSR Bathurst 12-hour, and as well as that, the official iRacing special event, Sebring 12-hour to come as well. So much motorsport in the first 2 months of racing. Looking ahead to April, we've of course got the Long Beach Grand Prix as a part of the IMSA season as well. For supercars fans, they return next weekend out at Sydney Motorsport Park for round 1 of their season, as we'll see how those Toyota Supras are going to go in their first season within supercars. So a massive first part of the year for motorsport. You can fill your weeks and weekends with motorsport coming up in the coming weeks and months, as Alex Kiddis is now in. And then you look ahead as well out towards March. The football season begins again. The rugby season begins again. And we move on for another year of sport and motorsport, Brett. It's a massive year.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Winter Olympics on at the moment as well. So I've been tracking the ice hockey over on the Winter Olympics. It's been really great to see.
Clifton, Burns and Viger in pit lane as well.
Yep. So all those guys are in. We'll see how this pays out for
33.
them. Randall getting closer here to Matt Stoyles, so he's beginning to chase down the EWT car. But, Ron Allen up 22 positions. A great run thus far for the M1 used cars driver. His pit stops are in full commencement now. We've got Damon Fisher battling away with Brett Taylor and Michael Jones as well. It's all happening, Brett.
Maybe Ron's trying to go for the driver of the day, sponsored by M1.
Well, you know, it would be apropos if an M1 used cars car won it this season. I mean, I'm very impressed by a couple of drivers who've been on the game tonight. DeGoey up 17, Allen up 22. Yourself, Brett, up 10 into the 10. Same with Stoyles, but also Roy Clark up 11 positions into P10 at the moment. This is a great result for Roy Clark tonight. And on corrected order, he could be within the top 10, up a couple of places from where he is right now.
100%. Brett Horsell, whether you mentioned him, up 18. Brett Taylor up 18, and Damon Fisher up 18 at this current stage.
He's just lost it down at turn 10 as Damon Fisher off the road. He's gone. That'll bring him back in the clutches to Derek Lovegrove. And now he's lost the back end of Brett Taylor's car. A crucial mistake for Damon Fisher at this point of the race.
Is he... he's the first of the 2 stoppers, is he out there?
Yes, but he needs another stop because he pitted before.
Oh, yeah, because he couldn't get... Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Also, Brett, you want to try and do 37 laps on a set of tyres around here?
No. Definitely not.
Quickly at the track temperature, by the way, 28 degrees is now the track temp, 25 ambient, so it's actually not really changed over the last sort of 10 laps or so. As Brett Fisher, Shane Randall are now into pit lane. So, interesting here. Shane's not opted to follow Matt Stoyles around for another lap. Maybe trying to undercut him here by coming in slightly earlier in between.
Yeah, Randall should jump me in the pits there as well, because obviously he's done a longer stop by, I think it was about 4 or 5 seconds, wasn't it? Might be more, actually.
Well, the other interesting point
about
is
31.
Other interesting point is as well, Brett. Randall and Stoyles pit stops are only separated by roughly 0.3 to 0.7 of a second. There's barely anything in it between them. So this undercut, if he can pull it off, could be magical for Randall, but it's got to be crucial that he doesn't come out in traffic when he does exit pit lane. Notably as well, Kiddis and Kokoschki, well, both of them only took a 2-second difference on their stops. Kokoschki is right on the tail of Alex Kiddis as he runs it wide at turn 1. Phil Manuel about 3.4 seconds back. This is the battle for the effective race lead, ladies and gentlemen, as either of these guys could be leading later in the race. But I think the important part as well, we've got to look at Blanchard and Heddersheed. The 45-second stoppers off the first run through pits. They could really surprise us here, Brett, and come out in the race lead if things go their way.
Can't wait to see once we normalise after all this. Oh, that was Ron Allen there too, was it?
It was, yes, just off the road.
He's a bit of off the road there. I can't wait to see once we've normalised after all the pit stops have come through. We'll see where everyone sits and we'll see what we're in for the closing stage of this race. Lap 34 of 50.
And for Kiddis, he wants another race win this season. Took his first earlier on in the championship running, of course, and he's been back in form thus far this season. He took his first win out at Catalunya Grand Prix circuit in what was supposed to be a wet race, but turned out to actually be a dry session with a previously wet circuit. What we've got coming up this week as well, Brett, is to go he's in, is for Suzuka, who've apparently got a wet session coming. But right now, with the forecasted weather on board that session, it's actually forecasted to be dry. So whether they actually make some deliberate changes to force it to be wet, time will tell from the admins. I'm sure they'll make a choice. I think they should force it to be
Stoyles in, Allen's in.
Yep, and Goey as well. I'm under the impression, Brett, that I actually think that they should force it to be wet because some splits missed out on a wet race at a Catalunya. So give them a wet running.
Yeah, give everyone a wet race who missed out last time. I was going to say before, Kokoschki, like he's got the speed, but I wonder whether just because he's behind. Oh, there we go. Kiddis doing the fastest lap of the race, a 2:05.201.
It must be said, as Phil's pointed out in the chat, Alex has improved his racecraft exponentially over the course of this sort of last season and last half of last season as well. And
that's what I talked about earlier in this race. You know, he's been able to sort of keep his head on at the moment.
Just keep his cool, calm and collected, and that's what's important when you want to try and win the championship in Split 2. Now, I'm not sure if that's because of his teammates, as Craig Friend sets the fast lap of the race, 2:05.2. He's finally been in, by the way, take his final stop of the race here, so he's now trying to push on in what may be his correct position. Now, I don't know if that's because Alex has been watching the broadcast and has listened to what we've said.
He's dropped off the back of Kiddis there, and he's continuing to drop 1.8 seconds back.
I wonder if he's just trying to save that, or maybe he's trying to save some tyres at this stage. Maybe they're just getting the temps up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was about to mention before. I think he's slightly overdriving the car. We see a little bit of backward slide there, a bit of car getting out sideways there. I think he was just slightly overdriving the car, knowing probably that he had a bit of speed on Kiddis, but he wasn't able to actually do anything with it. And I think he was just overachieving a couple of times, as we see Buckland and Blanchard in pit lane. Big
pit stop now coming for Chris Blanchard. 45.6 was his last stop. For Buckland, it was a 34.0. So it'll be interesting where these guys come out of pit lane in comparison to Alex Kiddis and Stephen Kokoschki, as Michael Jones is back in pit lane once again. We've got another driver out of this race in Andrew Hoffman, who's been into the wall further back. So that's 2 retirees thus far tonight, including Cesar and Andrew Hoffman as well. We've got one car on
Fisher in pits.
Yep, we've got one car down off the lead lap,
Brett
that being
Taylor.
Bruce Tannick at this point. Brett Taylor's in as well.
Jones
As
in.
Blanchard drops, exits,
Yep.
gets a big gain onto Gary Buckland. There is
comes
Alex Kiddis. So Blanchard looks to have pulled an absolute masterstroke because he'll exit pit
tyres.
lane. Cold tyres, remember, so Kiddis are up to temp. But the reality is he has pulled that off, Brett, by sheer strategy and knowing when to play the game in pit lane, as Andrew Galley and Paul Burns have made contact down at the final corner. That car is struggling to move at this stage.
Got it underway now.
He's gotten underway. Could have very easily have been a safety car if neither of them were moving. As Michael Jones is now dropping down the order after exiting pit lane as well. So he's in amongst a battle here with Brett Taylor and Andrew Galley. So this is now Jones's real position in this race at this stage of the evening. Top 4 still in the pit. Mackenzie, Hedersheed, Clark, Lovegrove. Will Hedersheed jump Blanchard in the pits, or will Blanchard be the race leader when the pit stops have come to fruition and everyone is pushing on to the checkered flag of this race, as we've just begun to spread out a little bit further back, as Buckland and DeGoey, they're battling away nice and tightly. Brooke and Weston as Mackenzie's in. Horsell and yourself, Brett, are battling away back here.
We've got 2 of the 3 Bretts.
That fight as well from Taylor, Galley and Jones continuing on as well, as Hedersheed takes the race lead.
Well, we've got three Bs, Ben Brook and myself and Horsell in 1, 2, 3 there, or as in 17, 18, 19. Brett Taylor back and further than 20 seconds. Scotty Weston dropped a spot to Ben Brook just then.
Indeed.
Mackenzie in pits.
Battling away with Ben Brook. Also a little bit wide through there, has made it through nicely. So Mackenzie and Lovegrove, the former teammates,
Lovegrove
into pit lane. There is Blanchard. He should jump Mackenzie here. It's a 25.4 second stop for Mackenzie. Significantly faster than Kiddis, but Kiddis will catch him. And so will Kokoschki. But this is going to be tight. Side by side on exit. Kokoschki gets the position. Mackenzie moves on. And into P4, corrected on the road. Could be P5 though, when Hedersheed comes out of pit lane.
So just looking at the times, Kiddis on that last lap, he did a 206.986, and then Kokoschki did a 207.383. So definitely Kokoschki just coming off a little bit slower at the moment. So that gap just growing a little bit further.
See as well, Manuel, Buckland and DeGoey battling away. P7 on the road, Clifton on the back of them as well. This makes up the rear end of the top 10.
This is a feisty little pack, this, isn't it, with Rick Viger in 11. So he'll want to get in amongst this as well.
We have got 14 or 13 and a half laps to run here at Sebring before the 300 kilometres are completed. We are an hour and 23 minutes and change into this race. We're a little under 2 hours into the broadcast this evening. And we've still probably got to go, Brett, the good part of 30 minutes to go in this race.
Yeah, and it hasn't been, there's always been something happening. Don't think there hasn't been many stale sort of moments in the race at the moment.
Hedersheed into pit lane.
Yeah, Hedersheed. This will be interesting to see where he comes out.
Yeah, this is big for the race win, because Blanchard took a slightly longer stop on the initial run through pit lane. This stop for both of them should be very, very similar. Kiddis is about 2 seconds back from Blanchard. This is going to be close on pit lane for Hedersheed. To Kiddis, he should come out behind Blanchard here at pit exit. As Blanchard comes down the straight, Hedersheed has only just dropped, so actually he's lost a massive amount of time by coming in a bit too late here, Brett.
Yeah,
and again, that was the balancing act that we spoke about. Pushing the old tyres a bit too far has cost Hedersheed a massive amount of positions, as in fact, he's going to come out behind Scott Mackenzie, He's gone on just that little bit too long with the fresh tyres for Blanchard and Co.
Here too.
He is with the fresh tyres for Blanchard, Kiddis, Kokoschki, McKenzie. They've been able to pull away from Heddersheed whilst he's been out front, and whilst he's been trying to look after those tyres as Weston's into pit lane. So it's on here for P3 in this race. McKenzie hot on the heels of Kokoschki. The Kiwi versus the Aussie. Synergy versus the Misfits.
38 laps of 50. Now is McKenzie gonna pressure him more and make a move on Kokoschki? Kokoschki down to 3.4 seconds off the back of Kiddis, so he's definitely just slowly dropped off the back of Kiddis, where he was definitely faster. So I wonder whether he's just learning that he's probably just slightly overdriving the car, and he gets the back of the car out sideways there for a second. So he's still pushing that car.
He's pushing it to its absolute maximum at this stage. You can see the sort of bumps that are starting to form along this circuit for these drivers here tonight as well. Importantly, Scott Weston, Andrew Galley, Bruce Tannock have now all been in pit lane, by the way, Brett. Paul Burns has come in for a drive-through for an incident earlier in the race. As we watch and ride with McKenzie as he battles away with Stephen Kokoschki for P4 in this race. And I tell you what, the one thing is that we would want right now, Brett, but I guarantee you Chris Blanchard doesn't want the appearance of a certain McLaren on the circuit.
Yeah, yellow flashing lights, although it doesn't have yellow flashing lights.
It should. It should. I think it was egregious. It doesn't. Roy Clark in the race lead at this point in time, but he still needs his second CPS stop to get that car home this evening. And the one thing we probably need right now is an appearance of the Racecraft Simulations safety car, because it would force the whole field back together again. We would have 10 laps to go with everybody on each other's ginger.
Stoyles doing the fastest lap of his race. Randall doing the fastest lap. Allen doing the fastest lap of his race. And I've just seen Gary Buckland before do a 2:05. Where is it? 2:05.787. So he's got some things going on there, but he's about 4 seconds back off the back of Heddersheed.
So everyone is pushing on here tonight. We've had a chat out there. Are there any restrictions, requirements for entering next season? And as Ron Allen said, you just have to be over 40 years of age, and you have to take part in pre-qual as a brand new driver to the series as well. That way you can be classified into your split, whether that's split 1, split 2, split 3 or split 4. Currently 200 drivers out there with a wait list of drivers as well waiting in the wings to be able to sign up for next season. So join the Discord of V8 Veterans as well. Unfortunately, I can't put a link in the chat, Brett, because I don't have access to the Vets YouTube channel. But find us on Facebook at V8 Veterans. You will find then a link to our Discord over on the Facebook page to be able to find out more information on how you can sign up for Season 27 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans. At this stage of the race, Brett, just quickly, track temp has now come down a singular degree, 27 degrees. And
just looking also,
it's still 25.
Just looking, Damon's putting a lot of pressure on Brett Horsell. Jones putting a lot of pressure on Brett Taylor. So there's a lot of white numbers out there at the moment, but there is probably about 3 or 4 little battles going on.
Everyone's pushing on, Brett. Everyone is pushing on to
Clifton on DeGoey. No, doesn't look like he can do that. Clark in pits. His final stop. Heddersheed doing fastest lap of his race at 2:06.396.
So I mean, I'm intrigued now, Brett. Where will Clark come out of pit lane? He's just dropped. We saw him battling away with Stoyles and Randall earlier in the race. Be good to see where he exits here. As Stoyles come past, will Randall come past him as well? They both will.
Randall will.
Will Ron Allen get past him too? There is Roy Clark. He's lost out to Allen. A P14 still a great spot for Roy Clark to be in, and he's now got the freshest
100%.
tyres of the lot. It's Blanchard, 2.5 seconds ahead now of Kiddis. 3.2 seconds back to Kokoschki, McKenzie and Heddersheed, the top 5. Closely battling for P3. Supremacy here in the latter stages of this race tonight out at Sebring International Raceway. We've got 10.5 laps to go, Brett. before the longest night in Racecraft V8 Veterans finishes up, and we head across to the rising sun of Japan next week out at Suzuka. That's going to be a fun one.
The rising sun from the setting sun. The sun getting quite low in the sky here. The shadows getting long. The race is quite long with 10 laps to go, as you said, Hamish. And there's still plenty of racing to go on here. We're sort of watching Hedeshee chase down Mackenzie. That battle's been going on for a bit. Yep.
Oh, Brett.
Oh!
Jeremy Bush
That is
is
dead.
off the road. And I think, is that down? I think it is that one down near?
Is that Sunset? No.
No, that's turn one.
No, that's turn
He's
one.
gone off at turn one. That car is not in a safe position. It's right near pit exit. This could be a Racecraft Simulations safety car. This completely changes the game now. This is the last thing that Blanchard wanted. All of a sudden, Kittis, Kokoschki and Co are going to be on his tail. As that car is in an innocuous position, when will the safety car come out? Because they're not letting Bush tow just yet. A safety car is still in pit lane, so it might be out at the end of this lap, Brett, to pick up the race leader Blanchard, because I don't think they can leave him stranded there or let him tow back without impeding the field. I think the safety car needs to get out there.
So this is, if we do get a yellow, which is odds on that we're probably going to get one. I wonder how I know that. It's going to close up this field again, and it's sort of like after a big race like this, we're going to get some tired heads, tired hands, tired feet, and we know sometimes safety cars breed safety cars, and everyone's going to be a little bit desperate, thinking that it may have an opportunity to make something happen in the latter stages of this race. So we'll see. Time will tell. We'll see what happens.
On that then, Brett, as the safety cars just entered.
Oh, what did I say?
Racing circuit. You said like entered the racing circuit. There was a little bit of an accent on it. Bit of a flair
sorry,
to
I
it.
didn't mean it. Yeah, okay.
That's not a bad thing. I know.
Flair.
Flair.
Super duper.
A bit of panache, if you will.
Right.
As my mum would say, a bit of zhuzh,
Caviar and penne. Hmm.
She would say a bit of zhuzh, Brett. That's the word that she would
Bit of
use.
zhuzh.
Bit of zhuzh.
Yeah, bit of zhuzh.
She's also the type of
So,
person that says peeps, so take that for a grain of salt.
So safety car has been called. Cars are still blasting around at the moment. Blanchard, does he keep just punching away?
I think he's
or
got
does
to.
he just?
Ultimately, there's no point in coming in, giving up track position.
No. No. But what I was meaning is though, no, he's at the lead of the race. But does he keep on punching through as fast as he can?
I think he's
obviously cautiously.
I think he's got
Or
to,
does he just
ultimately.
back it off just a slight bit?
No, the problem then becomes he'll then back up the whole field, which then might
Yeah.
frustrate other drivers or cause more issues.
No, I wasn't meaning sort of like, I mean, he's 5-6 seconds out in front. You know what I mean? I was just going to say, just tip the edge off a little bit, so you can save those tyres a little bit more. Every little bit counts.
It does indeed. It does indeed count towards your
Well,
total for the
have a
season,
look.
of course.
And we've got Brett Fisher and Damon Fisher. Nose to tail there.
Well, what we might do is,
That'll
Brett,
be interesting on the restart.
what we might do is, as we said earlier, we'll take this opportunity to take a very, very quick break. With only a couple of laps to go, when we return, there is only going to be a handful of laps left in this one here at Sebring tonight. Safety cars
I'll go
out on
and turn-
circuit. Time to get your snacks.
I'll go and
Time
turn
to
the
get
pressure-
your
No.
your
I was
drinks
going to say
in.
I'm going to go and turn the pressure cooker on.
Okay, go.
Because
Get
it's
about
going.
to heat up.
It's happening. It's going to heat up.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Split 2 here this evening, round 7, season 26 out at Sebring International Raceway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly after these quick messages from Racecraft. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Season 26. Round 7 here at Sebring. It's Sebring International Raceway. We're here for the Split 2 action once again. If you're watching on the Vets channel or the Infinity Broadcasting channel, or if you're somehow watching on both, great, thank you so much. Be sure to hit the like button on both, the subscribe and the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing on either channel. Last night we had the double header of Split 3 and Split 4 action coming away from this week. I'm unsure if Split 3 is remaining on a Friday night. Ask Andrew Johnson if it is. I'm unsure. But massive end of the season coming your way. We've still got to go racing at Suzuka Circuit next week. The week after we head out to the brand new Miami Autodrome at Hard Rock Cafe Stadium, and then ending it all out at the wondrous Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So what a better way could we ask for to end the championship than with 3 back-to-back Formula 1 circuits, modern Formula 1 circuits, to end out our season. It's going to be a grand old time for you at the end of this season. When the safety car comes in, I believe it should come in at the end of this lap, Brett. When it comes in, we are going to have a monumental 7 laps to go of this race.
As I said before, pressure cooker is on.
Well, whole field has now been compressed and condensed. Yep. They've been re-racked and restacked. How many of them could fall on the floor? Yep. I want to take your pick, Brett. Your pick, Brett. Who do you think's going to Brett? Who do you think's going to win this race off of this restart?
I actually don't know. I didn't actually have a look at the cheat sheet, or I can't remember. Look, I don't know. I actually just hope that it's a close race towards the end there. I reckon Blanchard might be able to hold them off. I'd like to see Kokoschki at least pressure kid us, because he was faster early in the race. Yeah, I can't exactly answer that, but look, we'll say Blanchard, because I can't remember, honestly. Okay,
then. Get your predictions in the chat as well. If you don't know who wins the race, get your predictions in the chat for who you think's going to win out of this current top 10. You have to give a shout out there to those drivers with such an incredible race tonight. Blanchard up 6 in the race lead. Kiddis has done well. So has Kokoschki. McKenzie, an astounding drive, up 7. Eddersheet up 10 tonight. DeGoey up 11. Yep. Clifton up 18 into the top 10 as well.
Yeah, that's a monumental effort.
Stoyles, Ron Allen, Roy Clark, Fisher, Horsell, Brett Taylor, and even Rick Viger at the back end of the top 10 as well. There are some great performances out there, but also you have to shout out to, he's ineligible for driver of the day. Comeback drive tonight though, Shane Randall. Back up to where he started this race in the P12 after a monumental amount of incidents in the first half of this race.
Definitely. He's fought his way back into this race. You know, he took that large pit stop early, which has helped him. We've had a couple of safety cars in between, so that's definitely helped him out there. But he's fought hard, and he's managed to sort of put himself back to where he started from. Probably disappointing at this point for him, but there's only up from here, and he's got 7 laps to try and do it. And it's going to be interesting to see when we go green here. So let's have a look. I'm just having a look at Blanchard's fastest lap of the race. It was a 2:06.028. Alex Kiddis' fastest lap is a 2:05.201. Stephen Kokoschki is a 5.775. So if things, and then even go back to McKenzie, 6.383. But you know, look, Gary Buckland there with a 2:05.584, and Phil Manuel with a 2:05.63. So this field is compressed, and there's some drivers there that are probably a slight bit out of place there. So they, knowing the fact that as we go, we're gone early.
So Blanchard has caught some of them napping there. He's gone right on the entry to Sunset Boulevard at the back end of Sunset Bend. Sorry, at the back end of Sunset Boulevard for the back straight. It's a great jump.
But have a look at Kokoschki.
Kokoschki is right on Kiddis here, outside line towards turn 1. Can Kokoschki make it stick? He's had the pace all night to do it, and he sends it round the outside on Alex Kiddis.
Move.
That is a great move. Gives him a little knock on the exit. Nothing too poor though. Robbins racing after all. He just gave him a little push across, saying, "Hey, I've got this done. Just back off for a minute here."
I'll tell you what, that was a great pass. Really well done there. Now he needs to just focus forward. He knows he's been faster than Alex Kiddis throughout the race, and a number of times that last stint he just fell off the back. So he's just got, I think he's just got to focus on eyes forward and see whether he can just gather that car up, and he might be able to take it to Blanchard.
Well, he's also been faster than Blanchard across the majority of the race, as well as Kokoschki. So this is probably
that's kind
his
of what
best.
I was getting at when I was reading out those numbers before, you know.
Probably his best opportunity to win a race all season right now for Kokoschki. The safety car's brought him back into it. We're going to have 6 laps to go when we cross the line. We've got 7.5 to go at this stage as we reach turn 10.
Lovegrove and Taylor just dropped up a couple of positions there.
Those guys are getting into it, but the race leaders are about to get into it too here, Brett.
Yeah. Now, this is the hard thing is too with Blanchard. You've got to try and keep eyes forward. Which position would you rather be in? I tell you now, I'd rather be in Kokoschki's position. You know, he knows he's got the faster car. He knows he's been lapping faster. He's in the box seat really now. So does he try and pressure him early on the cooler tyres after that safety car, make something happen? Gary's looking a bit, Blanchard's looking a bit defensive here, but oh geez, that's really lean. But he's got the pace in the car. Nice move, but can he hold it on the speed that he's got there going through? Oh, a nice move there.
Blanchard may try for a switch back here off the exit of Sunset Bend. He's trying to get back alongside him again. He'll get the draft down the main straight. Kokoschki has 2 defensive moves available to him. He'll move all the way over for the preferred racing line. Blanchard sends it up the inside. As they enter turn 1, there's a bit of contact. And he's finished him off. Giving him a double bump. Kiddis has been held up as well. And this is huge now. Kiddis off the podium for this stage. Hennessy and McKenzie are now up there. I think Blanchard, though, may have a drive-through coming his way. So it's not over just yet for Kiddis. He could still get a P3.
Oh, how unfortunate is that? That was unfortunate. I would have liked to have seen that carry on a bit further there, but unfortunately those 2 drivers coming together there, and Kokoschki coming off second best. But I'll tell you what, that's closed up the rest of this field. Look at the top 8 drivers all within half a second of each other.
Well, again, the safety car was the biggest spanner tonight. It has just squished everybody together. It's kept them close. They're all on very similar tyre wear at this stage of the race. The difference being, how is the body wear? How's the mind wear going on? You've got 5.5 laps to go. How well can you withstand the pressure that's being applied to you, but also how well can you apply the pressure to somebody else? They're the 2 biggest tests now in the final few laps of this race. It's not just about getting into the end anymore. Now it's about fighting for position, fighting for a race win, and fighting to get onto the top step at one of the most historic sports car venues in the world, in Sebring International Raceway down here in Florida. And for Blanchard, it's been a long while since his last win. Same for McKenzie. Hennessy, well, he's already got one this season. We claimed he would be a contender for the championship before finding out he's going to miss a round before the end of the season, and that could knock him back a couple of positions. But for Blanchard and McKenzie, this is now bragging rights opportunity tonight, Brett. Bragging rights to get yourself a win late in the season and take away some points, crucial points, from those contenders in DeGoey, Kiddis, Manuel and Randall at this stage as well.
So just looking at Blanchard's lap time, best lap time as we did before, he's is 6:028. McKenzie is only 0.3 faster than Blanchard, and Simon Hennessy is about the same. So this is normalised a little bit between those 3, but Kiddis is the faster out of the top 4, and Gary Buckland sitting in back in 5th at the moment, and he's faster, slightly slower, but comparatively fast as well with Scott McKenzie and Kiddis.
I tell you what, though, noticing the difference in fastest lap time between McKenzie and Hennessy. This race, McKenzie's fast lap at 2:05.8. Hennessy's at 2:06.02. So it's about 2/10 faster.
2/10.
Best lap.
Yeah.
Last lap, it was 2/10 the other way in Hennessy's favour. Now, we suspect that Blanchard is going to get a drive-through for that moment with Stephen Kokoschki, which is then going to give the lead to Scott McKenzie. For Hennessy, he's not going to want to have to risk it too hard, knowing that Kiddis in behind him, and he can cost him crucial points by beating him on the road tonight. I think we've only got 4 laps to go, Brett. This is McKenzie's to lose.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's his to win at this point as well.
Yep. It is an interesting day. Like, I mean, so Kiddis is going to be boxed in there a little bit at the moment, as well as Gary Buckland, unless someone makes a mistake and they can take advantage. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting in the next few laps.
Well, as everyone continues to fight their way forward, and they continue to push themselves to the absolute limit. They all fight for a crucial position in the championship post-race. And a race win is going to absolutely change up this championship, as Blanchard has got to come in for that drive-through penalty. That's now going to give Mackenzie one hell of a race lead.
So Kiddis now on the podium, and Buckland just outside of the top three, but there's nothing between these top 10 drivers plus. That snakes all the way back to Brooke, 13th place at the moment. Kenzie just pulled a little bit of a gap there on the header sheet by about 0.6 of a second, but Kiddis and Buckland really close at the moment. Is he going to do anything there? He probably just take it easy there at the moment.
For header sheet, he's not close enough. For Kiddis, he, as much as he would love P2, it's not worth the risk of what can come about so late in the race with desperate moves. And for Buckland, well, Kiddis is higher in the championship than him. He has a bigger chance of winning the championship. He's not going to want to have to go past his teammate. He's going to play rear gunner to hold back Phil Manuel and Reece DeGoey in behind him, crucially to help Alex in this race. Yeah,
well, I think it's like I said before. If anyone makes a mistake, they're going to be on them like white on rice. But you know, yeah, you're right. Buckland's just going to protect Kiddis there a little bit. It's incredible how the pressure just ramps up a bit as if we get a late safety car, and everything just starts getting a little bit desperate in some terms. It just shows, the people who have got the concentration, the ability to block everything out and just eyes forward and just keep concentrating.
That's all they've got to do now for the next 3 laps of this race. We're on lap 47 of 50. 3 laps to go. And it is maximum pressure moments like this where drivers have got to try and pull out crucial tooth and nail procedures to try and exercise a positive result leading into the final 3 rounds.
So Kiddis still in firing range of header sheet, not close enough yet. Buckland slightly dropping back 0.7 off the back of Kiddis.
I think he's trying to hold back Manuel and DeGoey. He doesn't want to put Kiddis under pressure. He wants Kiddis to build some gap.
You'd assume that they'd also be talking on comms, letting each other know what their thoughts are.
100% be doing that at this point of the race. 2 3/4 laps left of Sebring. What a race it's been tonight, for the longest night in Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans, the 300k Enduro. Remember the days when we used to have 2 of these, Brett, instead of just 1.
Matt Stoyles and Randall.
Yep, Randall's trying to battle away with Stoyles here, trying to make up the position. He's on the outside. Oh, has he made it stick or what? What a move for Randall on Stoyles.
Roy Clark just tucked in there as well. We talked about Roy Clark earlier, so he's still up 10 spots. Matt Stoyle up 16. Ron Allen up 16. But Mick Clifton up 20 in 7th spot at the moment.
A great performance tonight as Tannock and Weston are getting into it with each other back here, Brett. Both of them off the road. Wild. It is getting wild back here. Blanchard just come past them and they're banging doors back here.
This is getting wild down the back of the pack. Andrew Gully's got the box seat here to see what's going on.
He does indeed. But it is really firing up between them. at the back end of this race for Tannick.
Matt Stoyles closing on the back of Randall again.
He's just starting to pressure him once more.
And
Clark putting
Buckland
pressure on
the
him
back
as well.
of Kiddis.
Yeah, he's all over him again. But again, wants to just help his teammate. 2 laps to go here at Sebring. For Mackenzie,
It's funny how it's stretched. Go.
I was going to say, for Mackenzie, it's now imperative that he survives the next 12 kilometres of this circuit and of this race. He's just got to hold on to his gap here, Brett. You can't be looking behind him. Just hit the markers, hit your lap after lap, and just keep it nice and tidy, because we've seen enough mistakes tonight from race leaders and other drivers as well, having moments down at turn 10, at turn 7, and other corners as well. And the most important thing for Mackenzie, as Kiddis looks up the inside ahead of she, not quite close enough to the inside line. For Mackenzie, the most important part is now focused. You've got 1.5 laps left to go. You've got roughly 10 kilometres left, or 9 kilometres left, of this track here tonight, of this 300-kilometre race. All you've got to do now is just keep pushing on, as Damon Fisher has gone off down at turn 7. I think Kokoschki may have been involved, I'm unsure, but it is really firing up here in the back half of this race, Brett.
Oh, it's going off. Going absolutely off now. I think it's definitely Mackenzie's to lose now. He's got about a just over 1 second gap. So I think he's pretty safe if he just doesn't make a mistake. He just keeps it on the straight and narrow. I think it's his to lose at this point. Hedesheed, he's still under fire from Kiddis and Buckland, and Phil Manuel closed up there as well. Still to go in Clifton there behind as well. So yeah, he's still not off yet. Have a look at Kiddis on the outside of Hedesheed.
As we see Kiddis trying to run around the outside at Sunset Bend. And as they come through, Hedesheed will lead Kiddis at this stage, but Kiddis is trying to come back at him again. 6 kilometres to go of Sebring. One more lap, the white flag's out. Can he get the drive into the corner? Kiddis couldn't. Hedesheed did. And he now just edges that car ahead of the Mustang in behind him. He's not willing to send it in at turn 1. And we have got 1 lap to go, Brett. Lap 50 of 50. The 300k is about to get ticked over at the end of this lap.
That goes to show that Kiddis is not prepared to just sit back and take third. He wants to have a crack at second spot. So if Hedesheed makes any mistake, or if Kiddis gets a run on him, he's definitely going to try. Hedesheed just had a little wiggle in the tail.
Watch Kiddis now as he'll try and possibly have a lunge after the mistake from Hedesheed through turn 5. No, he wasn't quite willing to do it once again.
Oh, but he's locked it.
Oh, he's locked it up. He's been absolutely baited off the road. Kiddis comes past. Buckland does as well. Hedesheed's thrown away P2 here tonight. Oh, and the intelligent play of Kiddis to sell the dummy has worked an absolute treat, as the going up the inside of Manuel now. Into the top 5 goes the SLS racing car.
So DeGoey up 14. That's a massive effort there for DeGoey. Fantastic for Scott McKenzie, sorry. Up 10 in first spot at the moment. Definitely his to lose. He's got to hold on for a few more corners now.
McKenzie, he has got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 corners left. Not even 2 kilometres left of this race. Only a kilometre left to run. And with a world's worth of gap in behind him, back to Alex Kiddis. Scott McKenzie is going to take an all-time victory tonight for Misfits Racing. Put himself in the right position. Perhaps it was a little bit of good luck. Perhaps it was well planned, but nonetheless, through Sunset Bend he comes. Scott McKenzie is a race winner in season 26 of Split 2, as Hedesheed, well, it said he was up to P2, but he wasn't. It was Kiddis to Buckland, Hedesheed, and then DeGoey, the top 5. Manuel, Clifton, Viger, Randall, Stoyles, the 10. Clark, Allen, Brook, Fisher, Horsell, the top 15. But what a race win for Scott McKenzie.
I'll tell you what, if you didn't mind a bit of good racing, that was definitely it, those last few laps. So had a bit of everything there. And well done to Mackenzie holding it out in front. He actually started to pull gap. And unfortunate there for Hedesheed coming unstuck there. And well done for Kiddis to drop to pull that into second spot. Talked about Kiddis earlier. You know, this could be the shining light that he needs just to sort of push him further on in this championship.
Well, that's exactly right. I'm just checking through who we've nominated thus far this season for Driver of the Day. Just so I can double check.
Yeah. So performances at the moment, I mean, look, Mick Clifton up 20 spots. He's done a brilliant job there. I know Randall, shout out to Randall because he did have a massive comeback. He's up 3 into 9th after having trouble early in the race. Matty Storrs up 16. Roy Clark up 10. Ron Allen up 16. Reece DeGoey up 14 to get into 5th. That's a fantastic effort. Simon Hedesheed, unfortunately, just dropping out of 4th. But he's up 11 as well. So he's had a great race as well.
So I've just seen all the drivers that have not won. I'm only going to nominate 3 tonight. Any apologies. I'm only going to nominate 3 tonight. Reece DeGoey, Roy Clark, or Mick Clifton. Get your votes in the chat for Driver of the Day. I'm absolutely pooped, Brett. I don't know if we'll be able to
I
get
bet
through
you
the
are.
post-race highlights tonight.
Oh, come on. No, we have to. Come on. Don't do it to us now.
Okay.
Hold on there, Tiger.
Okay. Well, it all starts on lap 1, of course. Back with the green flag start. And what a start it was for some drivers, including the race leader, Michael Jones. But it wasn't too far after this, and the exit of turn 1, that Craig Friend has had an absolute horrific incident with Bruce Tannock as they come up through turn 2. Tannock has just served him across the wall.
Oh, that was huge.
Absolutely huge.
He was really lucky to get that car spun around like that.
And a further incident down here at turn 7 with McCune on the outside of Randall. Well, Randall's got nowhere to go, and McCune just comes across his nose, so off the track he goes down there. Sean Cullen as well, a first major incident first of all. This was down, and I believe this is down turn 3. Just loses the rear end, and around she goes off the road as well. Further back we had Andrew Galley having an incident with Andrew Hoffman as well. Further back down the order too. That was Roy Clark on the inside. The C's open up and Hoffy goes off.
One, that.
That's a real tough one. I mean, there's not much more you can say. Andrew. Andrew Galley's on the outside. What more can you do? Then Randall getting held up at this moment here. So Parker and Monday making contact. Randall goes to take evasive action, and then contact's made, and that's what slowed him down and dropped him a couple of more positions as well. So again, another tough one for those competitors. Pit stops, well, there was plenty here tonight. And then we got down to this one, which is a little bit controversial post-race for these drivers between Paul Burns and Halil Cesar. Now we can see here Halil's alongside before the turn-in of the corner. Paul just comes across the nose, contact's made. Not much more Halil can do on the exit. The car just kind of zooms off him. So he has to keep on going. And ultimately for Halil, he drops out of the session due to a packet loss issue as well. Now I'm going to try and zoom all the way down to find the next big incident. This was a huge one. This is what brought out our safety car for Bruce Tannock. Down at turn 14, he hopped the curb, lost the rear, and watched the impact. Bang! Straight into the wall.
That motor blew before, because the motor blew as he hopped the curb there, I think, just prior.
Well, there was also this one here for Michael Jones. Money shifts the race-leading Mustang off the road. Engine goes, and out of the race lead he goes as well.
Shame for Jones.
It's a real shame. A real shame. Then really we got into kind of mid-race madness somewhat here, as everyone was kind of just bellowing along just ever so slightly. Jeremy Bush, Scott Weston had a coming together down at turn 7 as well. We saw this one a little bit earlier on. We saw the back end of it actually a little bit earlier on as well. So Weston up the inside of Bush, and he's alongside before turning. Pretty much same almost a mirror image of Burns and Cesar earlier in the race, and ultimately that's just because he was alongside the push hasn't realised he is. So that's made a bit of a boo-boo for them at this stage of the race as well. Paul Burns, Andrew Galley, they are coming together down at the final corner. You, I believe, are around this one, Brett. This is a wild incident down here.
Yeah, there was Ben Brook in front, and he, yeah, and then just come across the nose with Galley. Yeah, Ben Brook coming around that corner just sort of checked up a little bit, and I had to get out of it a bit there, and I think it caught. Sorry. Paul Burns. Sorry, mine went blank there for a second. Out of caught him out. Oh, big.
That was the moment that brought out the second safety car. A massive incident for Jeremy Bush. Led to the safety car rejoining the circuit for the second time. So that was ultimately the effect of that one. We saw Tannick and Weston having a bit of a coming together as well. Brett, they were just kind of getting a bit niggly with each other, and that was pretty much the worst of it.
Yeah. Oh, they got it straight.
Yeah, they did. So just a tough one for them. But what a drive for Scott McKenzie at the front end of the field. Race win here tonight. It seems that in the chat, it is unanimous, up 20 positions at the end of this race after a commanding drive out there here at Sebring. It must be said. What a phenomenal race here tonight for our M1 Used Cars driver of the day. He's going the way of Mickey Clifton. Congratulations to Mick.
Well done, mate.
Out there. What a drive. There was a vote out there for Reese DeGoey as well. He had a great race, as did Roy Clark. Too. Oh, it's not going to show the thing because I need to restart the event recording. Let's see if that now fixes it. Nope, it doesn't. Wonderful. Thanks so much, SDK. But yeah, so driver of the day award tonight goes the way of Mick Clifton. We've got no podium finishers in the chat waiting to have a chat to us here this evening, so that's going to bring an end to our show here tonight. I'm ready to go and chat to my partner, have a lie down, rest up as well. We've been on your screens tonight for 2.5 hours, and we hope you guys enjoyed the action here tonight as well out at Sebring International Raceway. Next time out, we'll be on your screens. We head out to the wonderful Suzuka circuit down in the heart and near Okayama for Japan. It's going to be a wonderful time once again. A shout out to all the series sponsors once again. Our title sponsors, Racekraft Simulations, who've been a part of the series ever since season 18, as well as Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu Ute, Player One Sim Gear, Nova Südsports, and Südspeed gloves, as well as LGC Images and M1 Used Cars for the Driver of the Day award. This week it went the way of Mick Clifton. Next week it could go to you, but I've been Hamish Munro alongside Brett Fisher. Appreciate your time, appreciate your effort here being with us tonight. If you're watching on the V8 Veterans channel, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing right here on the channel with the Split 2, Split 3 and Split 4 action. If you want to help support myself better and the wonderful co-commentators I work with over on Infinity Broadcasting, head over there, YouTube/Infinity Broadcasting. You'll find us there with the High-Side Motorsports Gen 6 Cup Series, as well as the VRS Porsche Cup Series as well, and then as well the Split 2 action is simulcast that channel too. So go hit the subscribe button, the like, and the bell icon, so you're notified on that channel as well. But I'm Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside. This has been Season 26, Round 7 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for Split 2 out at Sebring International Raceway. We'll see you guys next week when we head out to the wonderful Suzuka circuit. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Screaming, tires bleeding, virtual cubes, the motor's breathing, engine thunder from down under, listen fire, turn asunder, put your name in lights. Oh, with the bits tonight, it's a 1,000 decibel supercar ride, burn this track to the ground with V8 sound. But
The racing series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In the sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Introducing the Rackraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.